by the injury attorney.
Gentlemen, mics are hot. Let's have a day.
You need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Devils going to the Peach Bowl, and the Cardinals' playoff hopes do not look good. Welcome in, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. We'll be here till 4 o'clock leading up to tonight's Bengals-Cowboys game. Are you going to watch the Simpsons version?
I saw that advertised. Probably not.
Yes. You don't like the Simpsons, probably. You don't understand the humor.
It's funny. Yeah, it's. I get the humor. I like it.
You do get the humor?
Yeah, Family Guy is fun to watch. I like Family Guy.
Really?
Yeah, I used to like.
If somebody doesn't like that kind of stuff, I'm surprised you would love it.
I used to do the Bart dance.
Okay. Well,
Bart Simpson, the Bart dance. It was a record.
You kind of look like Bart.
He does.
He does.
The older version of Bart.
You look like an older Bart.
Yeah.
The hair is with your hair up like that.
Yeah.
You got new hair to cut and everything.
Yeah,
I mean, it's looking good.
Glasses, new glasses.
Oh, that's what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
You look a lot older.
What?
Yeah,
Nike?
you do.
Oh, that
Nike
wasn't the
glasses.
idea.
But they're Nike. You're in style. I'm surprised they're not Puma.
Wait a minute. Take that back, will you? I don't want to look older.
But you do.
I do with these
Yeah,
glasses.
Manuch does the same thing. When he got his new glasses like 6 months ago, his nose got bigger.
Yeah.
It's the black rims that
It did.
accentuate my
that nose, that schnoz is just right there. But hey, we're out here at the Trophy Bar. This is where they host the Kenny Dillingham show, and a lot of Sun Devil fans are going to be here today. Monday's a big day where all the alum come in and they just hang out and talk about the Devils, and I'm sure many of them were at where Jerry World for that big win and that blowout win. And again, we'll get into all of that today. We're going to have Charlie Regal on the show. We're going to also catch up with Rudy Carpenter. So we got a former player as well as one of the coaches that'll join us. It's Charlie. Didn't guarantee to win, but he did say that he would come on with us today if they would win. And sure enough, he is a man of his word. So we're looking forward to catching up with him. That'll be at 2 o'clock. Rudy's going to join us in about 15 minutes, actually 30 minutes at the bottom of the hour. So Rudy will join us, and then we'll catch up with Charlie Regal. But you got to admit, if you're watching that game, how it started, it couldn't have got any better. You give the ball to Cam, and Cam does what Cam does, and sure enough, bam, you're just like, you had to feel good right there. And from there, they just completely dominated. I mean, it wasn't even a game after, what, second quarter?
I'd say, yeah, it was, what was it, at halftime? It was 24-10 at half. You know, the thing that, for them to drive down the field and go for the field goal, I went, okay. Kenny said, look, I got to trust everybody. Kick the field goal. It's that kid's first field goal. And then how about the next drive? 4th and about 3 inches. You do a fake run and pass over the top for a long gain. I went, wow.
That was the most ballsiest moves I've seen a coach make in a long time, especially a game that big. I mean, I jumped up. I mean, the bar went nuts. Everybody's like, WTF? What's he doing? Because if they would have lost the game, that would have been the narrative. That would have been something you would have went back to. Inexperienced Kenny Dillingham or whatever the narrative would have been. But, hey, everything's going in the right direction. They get a bye. They now get to wait for the winner of Texas and Clemson.
Oh, yes.
How big is that?
Huge.
To either play either one of those two teams. Before the season started in August, I picked Texas to win it all. I'm now hoping I'm wrong, and they get to play Arizona State, and Arizona State wins that game and gets to the semis. This is going to be a fun couple weeks, 3-4 weeks. Let's hope it goes into January 20th because that's when the national championship is.
It's amazing.
It'd be nice if they can just basically stay in Atlanta.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Just put a fork in Atlanta, go to the semi, then come back and play the national championship.
Yeah, you know, just the thing that just comes to mind, this team was ranked 16th, the bottom of the barrel at the beginning when the Big 12 poll came out, 16th. And to see where they are now and with everything in between, just to me, guys, it's just amazing that they were ranked 16th in the Big 12 poll after a 3-9 season last year. Miraculous, phenomenal, whatever you want to call it. It just, to me, just kind of blows me. It's a phenomenal story. It's just like, I got to say, you know, one of the great stories of, modern era college football, you know, the last 10, 15, 20 years of a team that's literally gone from the outhouse to the penthouse, and hopefully they keep climbing. To see that, just, you stop and think about, there's no way. Disney wouldn't take the script. That's just too far-fetched. Mighty Ducks, yeah, that was a fiction.
movie.
Yeah, this is facts, based on facts. So
I'm telling you right now, transfer portal, even though we don't like it because of what it's turned into, when you are a downtrodden team like they were last year and you hit that transfer portal and you hit on the right guys in that transfer portal, look what happens. You go from worst to first, and that's exactly what ASU did.
I think we're going to see a lot more stories like this in the
I
future.
agree. I agree with that.
Because of the transfer portal.
Yes.
We're going to find a team like Charlotte,
Yeah.
just picked up the Ohio U coach.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, they go on a turn. They turn it around. Or any of these teams that have not played well in the last few years, and all of a sudden, because of the transfer portal, and it has to do with the alum.
sure,
It has
absolutely.
to do with the amount of money that's out there, and that's what's gonna make these teams have success. This is no longer just it's all about recruiting. It's all about being at the right time in the transfer portal and having cash.
Well, and getting the right kind of player, too, and being able to afford the right kind of player. Whether it's the quarterback, the running back, or the receiver. Look at SMU. I mean, their coffers are filled. I mean, that's a very wealthy campus, wealthy university to be able to go and tap this guy and tap that guy. The other side of that, too, is guys that are in the transfer portal will look at ASU and go, hey, look, I'll take a discount, or I would just love to come there because you guys are on the national map. As a receiver, defensive back, or lineman, the opportunity to get seen week in and week out by the pro scouts, if you've got those aspirations, is another factor of guys wanting to come to ASU now, and ASU not having to go, well, let's get this guy and that guy and that guy. Do we have enough money? I don't know. Where other guys might give you a discount or just say, I want to come. Not everybody gets paid out of that transfer portal. They just want to make a move where they're going to play.
We're so close to it because we're in Sun Devil Nation. And you hear some of the national pundits, they're downplaying ASU, and that they shouldn't. Them and Boise State should not have gotten an automatic bid, or a bye week. I should say.
I've seen that. Yeah,
you see a lot of it,
Yeah.
and they do have a point. They do.
Sure.
You can make a case for Arizona State's schedule. You can.
But they play 4 ranked teams, 2 16s and a 14, Rock,
I
to
think
get there.
But the
think it's
rankings, I think, are just such
Okay,
BS.
but that's to the committee. That means something.
Well,
I mean, that's
I don't know about
but
that.
when you get to this point, Texas, at the end of the day, according to what the rankings are today, did not play a ranked team that they beat. They lost to Georgia twice. Every other team on their schedule at the end of the season is not ranked.
It's interesting you bring this up, Rob. I'm listening to Pete Futek last night coming home, and he's on a national show, and he's talking about college and and the pros. He's talking about Arizona State. Yeah, and the tone was, they're a nice little team. Yeah, they're a nice little story.
Yeah.
This Cam Scatterboot kid, he's a nice little running back, but you got this. I kind of went, well, okay, if you could encapsulate that in that tone, and not that ASU needs that in their locker room, but just kind of say there's still that non-respect that ASU got there, however, whatever. I'm like, okay.
That was my point.
I just hope that the Pete Futek's of the run. I respect his writing. I respect him.
Sure.
I think he's great. But that's kind of the national perspective of where ASU is. They kind of came in the back door.
And it's the Big 12.
Yeah, it's
Big 12 was down this year.
Scatterboot kid's a nice little running back.
OU's out. Texas is out. They're no longer in the
Yes.
Big 12.
Yeah.
I feel like people are upset by the seeding is because they didn't expect Boise State to have the year they had. They didn't expect ACC to be down. They didn't expect Arizona State to win the Big 12.
I don't know about that, Jax, because I think going into the year we all said it's going to be UNLV
3.
or Boise State's
But
going to
as
be
a
at the
12
it's the team.
seed, though.
The team that was going to come out as that 5th.
But not as a 3rd seed overall, though.
No,
and then
no
for
one
Arizona
would have
State to
expected
win
that.
it. Everyone was like, "Oh, Utah's probably going to win, big brand," and then Miami or Clemson or even FSU will be that other slot in the first bye. And now you look at it. Now people are complaining about Arizona State, Boise State being up there when it's like, well, they deserved it. They won their conference. So
Yeah, I think Futek, and he said at the very end, he goes, well, yeah, but they did win their conference. They played 3 ranked teams, and they blew the doors off of Iowa State. So I think he kind of caught himself a little bit, and he kind of moonwalked back into – but they are solid. I mean, with the
criteria is the criteria.
Yeah.
Right. They're going to change it. I think it's going to continue to change. I just hope, and I love Greg Byrne. He is one of my favorite guys in this industry. But for what he posted yesterday, some feel it was an embarrassing message on social media. Basically, just in a nutshell, we're going to reevaluate our non-conference schedule moving forward, and maybe we're going to put in some some lightweights, so we can show that we're going to win these games. And Alabama has a case because of their schedule, but they still have 3 losses.
They have
and
3
2
losses?
really bad out of 3 losses.
That's the key right there.
I get
2
it.
Really bad losses. Look, they played Western Kentucky. They played Mercer,
USF.
Yep, South Florida, and they played a down Wisconsin team.
5-7.
5-7.
And OU blew them off the field.
What the yeah? So what the hell does that have to
But they
do
beat
with your
Georgia.
non-conference?
They beat Georgia.
I
Georgia
know.
could probably win the national championship.
They
They could.
They could.
Yeah.
You know what? I know heartburn for them not being left out. When you to that point,
I was clapping.
Yeah, they played
yeah, I
their
mean,
way in.
it was great. Speaking of the Sun Devil, there he is, one of the top big dog. Nap Lawrence right here talking about his Devils. Go Devils, right?
The Big 12 trophy is going to be at the trophy bar?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. That's just breaking news. Just came over as we were at the trophy bar in Downtown Ocotillo. So the Big 12 trophy is going to be here in 45 minutes, and you can take a picture with me with the trophy.
And myself being
at
the
the
actual
trophy bar.
Being the actual
How
Big 12.
appropriate.
That's
I mean, last week we found out that Kenny brought the Territorial Cup here.
Yes.
On Sunday for Sunday football, which is pretty cool. So I think that's neat. But
thank you, Nap Lawrence.
yeah, good stuff there. But we'll get more into Greg Byrne and his comments from he's the Alabama AD, some other folks out there, Paul Feinbaum and his criticism. And is SMU better than Alabama? No, we know that, but we'll talk more about that. We also got to get into the Cardinals. Kyler Murray, something to think about. Kyler Murray is not a good quarterback in December and January.
Exactly.
And the more you look at the stats and you say to yourself, if this team continues to slide with 4 games left?
That's
4
correct.
games to go.
Yep.
And they finish 7 wins, and maybe 8. We have to beat the drum on Kyler Murray as a future quarterback here. I mean, he is 8-16 in December and January.
And we talked about this early. Can he maintain what he had early on? Because we said he's a front-running quarterback when it comes to the stats and wins. And then he falters the last 2 months of the year.
But didn't we say at the beginning of the year, we're expecting 7, maybe 8 wins out of this Cardinal team this year?
I understand this, but you go into
but
your
it
bye week
changed.
6-4 in first
Yes,
place,
I know
and then
it.
you lose 3 straight. There's a
Yes.
problem.
Yes, it
Well,
changed.
break whenever.
It changed dramatically.
But the point is, just real quick, what Rock is alluding to is no matter what the record has been, is that Kyler Murray has faded in the last month and a half to 2 months as far as his stats and his numbers. I saw tired, and I saw a guy yesterday throwing the ball into coverage and not making the same reads. And I also saw that pouty face, frustrated Kyler Murray, which I thought we had eliminated
2
about a
picks
year
in
ago.
45 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, not good at all. Not good at
And
all.
Seattle capitalizing on each one.
They
14
dominated.
points.
We got a lot to get into today. We're just getting started here at the Trophy Bar. Up next are our sounds of the weekend. We'll get into some NFL. You'll hear some college as well as some ASU, and we'll get into some Cardinals as well as we have time. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Just getting started here on Fox Sports 910.
Ready for Christmas
You're clear.
music? 99.9 KEZ is.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Christmas music is on our sister station, 99.9 KEZ, when you're ready. Sponsored by JW Marriott Desert Ridge Resort and Spa.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, #SexyRoofStatus. All of our work using state-of-the-art materials and 5-star workmanship. Our inspections are free. You heard me, free. Go to state48roofing.com to schedule your free appointment today.
For WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
You hear it all the time. Lawyers talk about all their experience, many years of experience with insurance companies, and experience in the courtroom. But what they're not talking about is their results. Maybe they don't have any. At Lerner & Rowe, we're proud of our results because that's how we measure our success. We've helped over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries, with over $1 billion just in the last 5 years alone. When you want results, call Lerner & Rowe.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
The only place you're going to find 3 10-foot screens with games on full volume in 3 separate rooms, all in the same bar.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
With dozens more big screens. You'll find every game you're looking for only at Dukes, because there's only one Dukes. Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Dukes on Miller and McDowell.
Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, darts, karaoke and trivia nights. 3 huge patios on the Greenbelt, all doggy friendly.
Where Dukes? Where Dukes? Miller and McDowell. Scottsdale.
The big holiday beauty sale at Ulta Beauty is happening now. Get the best gifts up to 50% off, including can't-miss deals on Urban Decay palettes, luxurious YSL and Armani fragrances, and the fabulous Shark Dryer and Styler. But that's not all. New deals drop every week. So whether you're treating yourself or finding the perfect gifts for your crew, head to an Ulta Beauty store today. Get all the best gifts, all at Ulta Beauty.
Now, an unreal talent, and there he goes. JT into the clear blue. Touchdown.
Before one of the great high school kickers in the history of the United States. It'll be a 56-yarder. The wind really not a factor. Snap and hold are good. That one is good! At the buzzer! Clemson wins the ACC.
They're just extended runs, basically. This guy at the controls, and he's going to throw a wide open Tez Johnson. Tez Johnson heading to the end zone.
Clip ends 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
48 yards.
Remember I said how patient Dylan Gabriel is. He's mobile, but he likes to throw when he's mobile.
Clip ends 15 seconds. Mics are hot. Mics are hot.
And hand it to him. Touchdown! Georgia SEC champions! As every dog digs really deep.
There you have it. Some of the highlights from championship weekend, as we want to thank Fox and ESPN on ABC, CBS, and just ESPN for all that sound. There's some great games over the weekend. Just outstanding games. There was the only blowout really was the ASU.
Sure.
Yeah, where, of course, it was difficult for me because at the same time I'm watching my alma mater just destroy Miami of Ohio.
They did.
And Parker Navarro
yeah.
just had a hell of a game. And another kid, it was a local kid, can't think of his name, also from here, had a touchdown.
Coleman Owen.
You got it. And just good to see. I'm a MAC champion, so it's been since 1968 that we won a championship. So I got my hat coming, my shirt, got that all ordered from the college bookstore. So I'll be sporting that next week. So I'm looking forward to showing that off.
Congratulations, Rock.
You guys don't have any championships under your belt.
No, not football-wise.
Kansas State's coming to the rate bowl.
Yeah, buddy.
Take on Rutgers, and Greg Schiano comes back for the second stint.
EMAW.
Oh, man. What?
Every man a Wildcat. EMA.
Why do you guys? Why couldn't you get something more creative? Because
that's pretty damn creative.
How is that creative? Because everybody can use that because there's so many Wildcat schools.
Every man a Wildcat.
So
right
that's
there.
what all the U of A people say too.
No, they don't go every man a Wildcat. They just go,
they're
kitty,
more
go.
politically correct.
Yeah, no,
Go kitty,
go kitty, go. It's U of A.
The LA Rams, they upset the Bills yesterday 44-42, and the other LA team, the Chargers, they almost upset Kansas City Chiefs. Man, how many lives do they have? It came down to a field goal opportunity for KC with 1 second, and here it is, the doinked kick off the left crossbar and then bounces through for the win.
The kick will come from Matthew Wright. This is for the division, for the Chiefs.
Clip ends 10 seconds.
And Wright, and in for the division. It's the doink for the division for the Chiefs.
Good call for NBC.
Yeah,
Like Tirico.
The doink.
The doink. Josh Allen had a hell of a game. Despite them losing. I mean, this guy rushed for 3 touchdowns and threw for 3. Here they are. We have to give it to you. This is probably going to make Manuch's clipboard tomorrow. If it doesn't, the clipboard shouldn't even
See, he
sense.
lost.
I agree.
He lost, so we can't use him.
Wait a minute, he threw for 460
Did they
yards.
win? Did they win?
No, they
Since when
did
did
not.
you change your criteria?
About 10 years ago.
No, shut the front door.
If you don't win, you don't make the good, the honorable mention, and now the
So-
bad you would make if you were really bad. But he won't make it. Yeah, I'll make him. He won't make it because they didn't win. It's never been.
So if Michael Jordan scored 45 points in a game for the Bulls, but they lost,
he wouldn't make it. Negative.
So
Not making it.
is it Sam Darnold?
No, it's not Sam Darnold.
Who else would it be?
It would be for number one, it would be Brock Purdy, 20 and 25,
God.
3 touchdowns.
Dude, you are being selfish, and you're just getting,
No, I'm
you're
not.
just trying to get more sales.
Yeah, 20
That's all
for
you're
20.
trying to do is
You're
get
such
more
a
players
homer.
because
Such a
you
homer.
trained them. All you want to do
20
is
for
just get his name out
25
there.
money all day
Oh,
long.
my.
But no losers make the clipboard. Let's put it that way.
Josh Allen, here you go. Here's your 6 touchdowns, but you don't make Manuch's clipboard.
you
And you're
don't.
even a Buffalo Bill, and
That's right.
you're not even giving love to your former team.
Got to be some scruples here.
Allen goes quicker this time. Got a decent push. Is he in? There's a penalty, too, so hold on. Still no signal. Now a signal he's in, but... We're going to go Josh Allen with a push to push him on and in, and he's up for the touchdown. Allen sneaking it again. This time, is he in? Yes, touchdown.
Clips end in 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Cooper coming out as the season goes. Set up a screen. Johnson, great block. Uses it well. First down and more. It's going to be a touchdown. Kai Johnson. Allen pressure gets rid of first down. Shakir.
Clip ends 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Defenders. Shakir on his feet and he scores. Oh my. 51 yards. Rams send a blitz. Allen sees it. Floats one for the touchdown. Mac Hollins.
There you have it. 6 touchdowns, but not good enough.
Not
Manuch's
good enough.
clipboard, which you hear at 3 o'clock.
Josh Allen would tell you stats mean nothing until you win the game, and it's unfortunate
Tell Kyler
they
Murray
lost that game because now you're looking at having you beat the Chiefs, but now you might have lost your home field advantage with the Chiefs having their 10th life in winning that game. So unfortunate that's that. But he'll be the first to tell you stats mean nothing unless you win.
All right, let's give some love to Arizona State as we got some clips that we pulled thanks to ESPN. And speak of the Devils, here's Cam Scatterbo talks about the Heisman pose and being disrespected.
Because I've been disrespected my whole life. I've always been the underdog, and nobody respects the fact that I'm the best running back in the country. And I'm going to stand on that. And, if people want to disrespect that, I'm going to keep going.
Clip ends 10 seconds.
To keep proving people wrong. And whatever NFL team takes me is going to get a gem, and I'm going to give it everything I got for them. And no matter winning the Heisman or losing the Heisman, I should still be in that situation.
You would hope, guys, that he's named one of the finalists.
I
today.
hope he gets to go to New York.
I do too. I would hope
I
that's
do too.
going to supposed to come out this afternoon.
Yeah.
That I would hope that they would look at it and name him a finalist and him get invited back to New York for this Saturday.
As we continue on, I think there are some people, I know some Arizona fans that think he's an arrogant, you know what, and the pose was a little too much, a little over the top. That he's all of a sudden he's got this attitude, you know.
He just ran for 170
I know.
I'd have an
I'm not
attitude.
agreeing with him.
I know.
I'm just saying I like that.
Hey,
but
I'll
at the
take
same
that
time, I can
attitude.
see there's two sides to everything, and
Absolutely.
I can see if you're not following the story, and all of a sudden this guy comes out of nowhere,
Yep.
and he's pounding his chest, and he's got the WWF
belt,
yeah.
and he's getting it signed by his offensive lineman, which is super cool. But then doing the Heisman, you got to back that up. There's only one person that has done that and has won. and that's Desmond Howard.
Well, like the kid at Colorado's been doing it the whole time.
Travis Hunter.
But he already won it, though. We know he already
Well, I know,
won
but
it.
I mean,
he won it before the season
he has
started.
4 or 5 kids. I have no problem with him getting his accolade, giving the
He's a kid. He's a kid at the end of the day. Let him have some fun, right?
Man, that's it.
Some more sound. Here's Sam Levitt talking about that 4th and 1 on their own 35 that everybody would scratch their head when it was in live and you're watching. You're saying, "So WTF? What the hell's going on right now? What are you doing, Kenny?" But this is what happened. It worked out great.
We know on 3rd and 4th and 1 they're going to play cover 1 or play cover 0 essentially, whether that was all out or zero wrap. So we knew we were going to have a little stutter and go. If we get big action, we got number 4 in the backfield, so everybody's got to account for him. So I just gave good action, pulled the safety down, and then Melquan was able to give a little bluff and go and just take off down the field. And I mean,
clip ends 10 seconds.
I was pretty shocked he called it that early in the game, but we practiced it all week. We were successful. We were 100% throughout the week on it. Just big time players make big time plays, and those kind of moments, essentially I'd call a Royal a player for that.
Still ball wide ass open. What a great call. Great play.
Unbelievable.
But
finally, real quick, on this day, 41 years ago, 1983, one of the best movies of all time opened in theaters, Scarface, with Al Pacino as Tony Montana, as that went underway, or that got in the movie theaters on this day. 41 years ago today.
What a role that was to see him in that scenario. Say hello to my little friend.
Now say hello to my little friend. Yeah, you can't do it, Manuch. Yeah, why you even try?
He was a little more emphatic about
Rudy
it.
Carpenter joins us next. We'll talk about this Big 12 championship and what's ahead for Arizona State. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. And by the way, before we go to break, we got word about 15 minutes ago that the Big 12 trophy is on its way here at the Trophy Bar, which if you want to know where this place is, obviously, unlike Manuch and Jimmy B, they don't know how to look on their phone. Most of you will look on your phone. But if you are like these two old guys, it is basically it's Price and Queen Creek. So if you're heading south on Price, you would take a left on Queen Creek.
Be east.
It'll be right on the right-hand side on the south side of the street.
There you
So
go.
hope that helps you guys that are in that 50-plus demographic.
I just look at a map.
You look at a map.
I just know the town.
Or stop at a gas station.
I've done that before.
More Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B next.
You're clear.
Trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Cardinals now find themselves 2 and back of the Seahawks in the NFC West after losing at home to Seattle yesterday. Coach Jonathan Gannon searching for answers.
Disappointing loss. Didn't play our best ball there. I got to find some answers to get us going a little bit because we haven't played great here the last couple weeks. So that falls on me.
The Cardinals hope to break a 3-game slide at home this week against the Patriots. Former New England coach Bill Belichick is reportedly still in conversation with North Carolina about their head coaching opening. 3 losses in a row for the Suns. They're off till Friday when they're in Utah. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Kick off football season with Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light for a season-long fantastic tailgating giveaway. Text PEAKS to 59925 every day for your chance to win the amazing grand prize. A Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, pizza oven, cornhole set, portable beer pong table, an outdoor projector, inflatable screen, cases of Cocoa 5, a cooler, and Wild Gear tumblers. No purchase necessary. Just text PEAKS to 59925. Standard message and data rates apply. Make this football season unforgettable with Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light.
Life's a sprint. Meet G2G protein bars. Grab and go fuel for the office, links, and daily grind. Score an 8-pack at Costco or explore flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, power-packed G2G protein bars. Setting your pace.
Crest Insurance is about more than providing coverage. It's about creating your safety net. We offer access to a national network of trusted carriers. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, we're here to help with a personal.
We got Rudy on hold.
Close to home. We're deeply invested in our communities, supporting local charities and initiatives that uplift those in need. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust. Service you can count on.
Craving tacos? Discover the Taco Spot, where mouth-watering, authentic Mexican flavors meet a modern twist. With 12 locations and more on the way, we're the local favorite. Visit TacoSpotAZ.com and follow us on social media. Come experience the tacos to Taco Bout, the Taco Spot.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Capital One. On Sunday in the semifinals of the NCAA soccer tourney, aka the College Cup, North Carolina defeated Duke 3-0 and Wake Forest bested Stanford 1-0, setting up a target.
All good on my end. Hey, I'm going to clip that Josh Allen clip if you want to use it for Manuch's clipboard.
For details.
Here to talk football is former Sun Devil quarterback, who, by the way, went 3-1 against that team in Tucson.
Carpenter going to go up with time, steps up, looks end zone, got a man, McGahee, touchdown! And Rudy Carpenter threw that right into the teeth, into the strength of the Wildcat defense.
Rudy Carpenter, now on Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910, on FM at 99.9 HD2.
Short of their own 35-yard line.
10 seconds till clip ends. Mics are hot.
And one.
Mics are hot.
Wide open and complete. Stovall. A race to the goal line and just tripped up. How about that on 4th and inches?
Rudy Carpenter now on the right to a guest sign. Rudy, when you saw 4th and 1, they're on their own 35 early in that game. I know it was inches, and they called this play that. I think everybody just was scratch your head why they were going for it. What was your thought process when they were doing that?
Well, probably a little bit of the same as everybody else. But at the end of the day, Kenny Dillingham, I think he preached to his team all year long, all week, that we didn't come this far just to come this far. We came to win. And to me, there's no better way to inject confidence into your team than by showing them that you believed in them early in a game like that with a situation like that.
Rudy, obviously a huge win, a Big 12 championship. How your phone just going off? I mean, you being a former player, I'm sure this has kind of brought the Sun Devil Nation together with this run.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, the number of phone calls that, I've gotten just from, neighbors and friends and, everybody in general, just, man, this Sun Devil team is unbelievable. What an incredible run. I can't believe they're going to the playoffs. But the other crazy thing to me is the number of phone calls and text messages that I've gotten from people inside the business. A lot of, coaches, especially college coaches from all around the country who, have obviously been paying attention to this season and have been paying attention to ASU. And they really just can't believe that, Kenny Dillingham and this coaching staff was able to get as much mileage out of this team as they have.
Is that the main thing, that he could get this kind of mileage out of this team, or what has been the constant from these coaches or other people you're talking to, Rudy, that they see on a regular basis to be able to have that constant and move this far?
I don't know. Everybody has their own opinions as to why things happen or, whatever, but I'll just speak for myself. I just think that, Kenny and Charlie Regal and Sean Aguano and Jason Mons and the entire defensive side of the ball, I just think that all of those guys have done an amazing, amazing job with this football team. And I think that the X's and O's matter. I think that the scheme matters. I think that the personnel matters. But I'll just give one example as to why I believe that this team has been able to do what they've been able to do, and I think can continue to do so. And it doesn't really have a lot to do with football. Today is the first day that the transfer portal is technically opened, and you have all kinds of kids from all over the place entering the portal, and they're doing that for whatever reasons they have. And there's a lot of coaches out there who are upset. There's a lot of fans who are out there who are upset about guys entering the portal. But one of the things that you see from this coaching staff and Kenny Dillingham is every time one of his guys enters the portal, he's one of the very first guys on Twitter retweeting those posts that those kids make, and he's trying to help those kids. He's saying, hey, we love that you were here. Essentially, sorry it didn't work out. This guy can really play. If you're a college out there, bring this kid in for a visit. If you're a school out there, offer this kid a scholarship. This guy's a really good player. And I know that might sound backwards, but when you're in an era of that going on, when you play for a coach that you know genuinely has your best interest at heart, and he genuinely wants you to do well and genuinely wants what's best for you, I just think that as a player, you have a little bit of extra juice to give somebody like that.
Rudy Carpenter is our guest on the right Toyota guest line. Rudy, the transfer portal, with all of its problems and kids just going in and going pretty much from school to school to school, what it has done, it has changed teams' dynamics almost overnight. And ASU is a perfect example of that. They went from worst to first by utilizing the transfer portal.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's no different than the NFL free agency, right? I mean, it gives you a real opportunity to be able to, make an incredible change overnight. You can literally be one of the worst teams in the country, and with the right coaching staff and the right kids out of the transfer portal, you can make some really big waves. And ASU, there's no better example. ASU is a great example. The University of Colorado is a great example. I think that maybe the best example outside of ASU is the University of Indiana. Coach Signetti there brought, I believe, 25 players from James Madison, where he was the coach before. I believe he brought 25 of those guys to the University of Indiana with him. And, we all saw what they did this year. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. Old school people out there complain. They don't like it. What about loyalty? What about this? These are it is what it is. You look at a guy like Bronco Mendenhall. Guy coached 1 year this year at New Mexico and takes off for Utah State. Coaches have been doing this for many, 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 many years. I don't have a problem with the kids doing it.
And you look at this team overall, you look at Sam Levitt, 12 for 17, extremely effective these last few games, Rudy. Just watching him and the progress as far as throwing the ball, keeping his calm for redshirt freshman. You believe this young man is an old soul or somewhat mature beyond his years?
He could be one of those, right? I don't really know. What I do know when you listen to Kenny is that the kid's coachable. He makes good decisions with the football. He throws with good accuracy. His anticipation is getting better and better and better. One thing that you see for sure when you watch that kid play is his competitive spirit. He's got a really great competitive spirit. He competes his butt off. You can tell he's a tough kid, both mentally and physically. If you saw him after the game, his older brother, Dallin, was just so pumped, hyping him up and giving him 1,000 high fives and hugs and shaking him. And you can just tell that those two boys have grown up their whole life. With the dream of chasing a championship like that and going to the NFL. And I think for Sam, that's one of the great advantages he has. His brother was a good college player and was a good special teams player in the NFL for, 3 or 4 years, 5 years, whatever he played in the NFL for the Green Bay Packers and I think another team. And from what I've what I know and what I think is true. His dad was also a player, I believe, in college. And in my viewpoint, when you're a legacy kid like that, when you've, been around it your entire life and it almost becomes the expectation for you that that's where you're going to end up and that's the level you're going to play at, I think that it makes it a little bit easier. The lights aren't too big. The situation isn't too big for you. It's just something you've always been around and something that, was kind of just an expectation for you.
Rudy, the coaching staff, do you think that people will try to cherry pick from that coaching staff? Or do you think that they are all very comfortable right now with Kenny Dillingham and what ASU is doing?
Well, I think those are two different things, right? I think that the coaching staff at ASU and all the guys that coach under Kenny and coach with Kenny, I think all of those guys are very, very happy about where ASU is and how the program is moving. I think they're all very happy with working for Kenny. We've all seen the stories of Kenny donating, his bonuses to people that are off the field workers. We've seen how hard he fights for his coordinators to get contract extensions and pay raises. And we can only assume he's fighting that hard to get his position coaches extensions and pay raises as well, right? I think all of that is awesome, and it's something we can see. But at the end of the day, when you have a winning program and you're playing well at every single position like they are, and you're finding ways to do it regardless of who gets hurt or who goes down or what happens, there's going to be other coaching staffs out there, other programs out there who are going to look at this staff and say, who is it that we can poach? I mean, Charlie Regal at one point in time was the head coach at Idaho State. When someone comes to you with a bag full of money and it's much more than what you're making now, it's really, really, really hard to turn that down, especially when that money, it's going to make it so your kids and their grandkids probably live a pretty good life. So I would imagine that there are going to be some programs coming after these coaches. I would imagine that already people are coming after Kenny. I would imagine if he has another great year next year, the big schools, the USCs, the Ohio State, those types of schools are going to be all over Kenny as well. And ASU is going to have to figure it out. And we'll see if this really is Kenny's dream job. But for right now, I believe it is.
He's Rudy Carpenter, joins us every Monday here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Appreciate you, man. Thanks. Great stuff as always. Have a good week.
See you guys.
That's Rudy Carpenter joining us as he's brought to you by All City Towing. Join the team at the largest towing company in the state. They're based in Tempe, All City Towing. They are hiring. Start off the 25 season with a new career. So if you're ready to take your career to the next level, then visit them online at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is on the move. Coming up, we wrap up Week 14 in the NFL as the Jets make history. Yeah. And Eagles, Barkley sets a franchise record for rushing yards. It's Football at 50 next from the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo.
You're clear.
Hey, it's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. You know us for delicious family dinners and huge party pizzas. But did you know we are great at feeding a large group too? Our full catering menu has a ton of variety, so everyone will find something they love. And the best part? We don't charge per head. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll handle the rest. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com. That's venezias.com. Venezias, a family and catering tradition.
Head coach Bobby Hurley and Sun Devil men's basketball are ready to join the Big 12 Conference. This season, the Sun Devils host conference foes Baylor, Iowa State, Arizona, TCU, and Houston, all at Desert Financial Arena.
And another steal ahead to Miller, and Miller reverses it up and in, and he's fouled. Holy moly.
Join the action and get your Sun Devil men's basketball tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Looking for the ultimate hangout? Welcome to the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo, where epic sports, stunning cars, and ice-cold drinks meet fabulous food and specialty cocktails. It's the spot for everyone. Guys love our 34K TVs, 16-foot video wall, and killer happy hour specials, while the ladies indulge in high-end decor and amazing cuisine. Join us for our thrilling nights. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Mondays, Coach Dillingham on Wednesdays, and Cards on Thursdays. Visit us at Price and Queen Creek Road in Chandler. The Trophy Bar, where the spoils go to the victors.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line.
We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation. Cue finger guns. Really easy. Super stress-free. 5G so fast, like blazing fast. Games and memes. You'll have a blast. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We for our one Cricket Nation.
And only $25 a line. Welcome to more lines. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Discount varies by line. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
Hey, iHeartRadio, Keegan-Michael Key here. There are lots of hotels to choose from out there, but ChoiceHotels.com has a hotel for any traveler you want to be, like a Radisson hotel with flexible workspaces for refined business person you, a Comfort hotel with a pool for out-of-office you. Nope, out of office. Or a Cambria hotel with a stylish bar for margarita on the rocks you. With 22 brands, you can be confident that Choice Hotels is a stay for any you. Book direct at ChoiceHotels.com, where travels come true.
Hard to believe that Christmas is only a couple of weeks away, right? But there's still plenty of time to find incredible gift deals because Macy's Friends and Family Sale is happening now. What does that mean? It means when you use your coupon or Macy's card, you can take an extra 30% off, just like Friends and Family can. That's 30% off the best holiday gifts, 30% off the best designer brands, 30% off what's trending right now. It's just this week. It's just what you were looking for, and it's only at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Let's get ready for football!
Mics are hot. Mics are hot.
The latest top football story trending this hour, right here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910 and the iHeartRadio app.
All right, the Eagles, they have a new all-time rusher. Saquon Barkley broke the franchise record in a single season, and their win over the Panthers. That game came down to the wire.
How about the Panthers?
I got a lot of crap for that one.
Panthers are coming on strong at the end of the year,
Yeah.
Rock.
And that guy won his bet. He won the 400. He bet 3.2 or 3.1 million, so he won this $443,000. So he got that. So Barkley broke the franchise record, as I mentioned. Finished with 124 yards yesterday. Season right now, he's 16-23. So he passes McCoy, who had 16-07. There's 4 games still. So maybe he can hit that 2,000 number before the season's over. I thought maybe it was Wilbert Montgomery.
Go way back machine.
Yeah, here's one of my favorite players. This is great. I'm so excited to talk about this next story as the New York football Jets, they were officially eliminated from playoff contention. Now, what's interesting about this, it's historic. 14 straight seasons the Jets have failed to make the postseason. Not only is that the longest streak in the NFL, it's also the longest current drought in major American sports, Jets fans. Longer than any team in the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, even the WNBA, Jets fans. The last time the Jets qualified for the playoffs, it was the first term of Obama. And Angry Birds was everybody was on that playing that game, Angry Birds. So that's back in 2010. I think Rex Ryan was head coach. Mark Sanchez was your quarterback.
That was the butt fumble days, if you will.
This Aaron Rodgers experiment just did not pan out.
No, it didn't. And I will say this. I think they allowed him, and I think they learned a valuable lesson, being the Jets, not to allow that tail wag the dog. And for them to convince his representation for Rodgers to convince the then general manager, hey, look, we'd love to come. Here's some things we need, though. Can you go get this receiver and this guy and that guy? And then he blows out the Achilles and blows that season up. Then they come back this year, and those guys are all getting hurt. They just never found any continuity. They're blaming the head coach. Now they're blaming the general manager. If I'm Woody Johnson, I look
Fireman Ed.
Fireman Ed.
Yeah. He's getting blamed.
Yeah.
So they got the Jags this week, so maybe they'll get it to 4 wins. They're currently sitting at 3-10.
Jags beat the Titans, believe it or not, this last week without
Nobody had
Trevor
that game.
Lawrence. I didn't have it either. It's interesting. The last part of the year, last 3 or 4 games, the Cardinals will take on the Patriots, and they got the Panthers. Then they end with they got the Rams and then the 49ers.
Right.
All of a sudden, Carolina's playing fairly decent football.
They are.
You just never know if some of these teams will get healthy. Guys are fighting for jobs. Like, I got to really pick it up. I can't go in the doldrums at all, even though our team's going nowhere.
Bryce Young now looks like an NFL QB.
Sure, you got to play.
Yeah.
You have to play. So no team wins predicted are ever given on Sunday in the National Football League.
So a little roundup. You still got one more tonight with the Bengals and the Cowboys. Hopefully come on down here and join us at the Trophy Bar in Chandler. But Mahomes and Chiefs, they capped it off last night with their last second 19-17 win over the Chargers. Chargers made a game of it in the second half. Mahomes passed for 210 yards and a touchdown as they've now clinched their 9th straight AFC West crown. Dynasty?
Absolutely, dynasty.
Right. Moving on. Early slate, the Vikings, they took down the Falcons. They blew them out by 21. Dolphins came from behind to beat those Jets that we just talked about, 32-26 in overtime. Eagles barely got by the Panthers. I know the Cardinals will have them in a couple weeks after they play the Patriots. Rams, wow, big win over the Bills, 44-42. That's the highest scoring game of the season. And then we saw what happened with the Arizona Cardinals and their 30-18 loss here in the desert to the Seahawks.
That Bills loss might hurt them as far as home field advantage.
I thought the Seattle-Arizona game was predictable. I felt Seattle was going to dominate them again, and they did. And they just have.
You're a Seahawks fan, though.
No, I'm not. Not necessarily. Even though I grew up there, no, not
you didn't
necessarily.
root for them as a
No,
kid?
they weren't there.
I felt there was a.
How old are you?
92.
What do you mean they weren't there?
They weren't there. Seahawks.
They weren't?
No. Hell no.
Opening season was 76, wasn't it?
Yeah,
75,
I was
76.
long gone.
You know,
long gone.
I really felt with that Cardinals game that was a must-win game for them.
Yeah.
But the last 2 out of 3 weeks, Seattle's come out and just been more physical. They adjusted to the adjustments that the Cardinals threw at them. They came out there. They're up, 24-10 at halftime?
Mm-hmm.
It's as though the Cardinals are looking at the Seahawks from 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Seahawks adjusted. They came out. They hammered the football. Charbonnet, it's a pretty good wine, is it not? I mean, the
he
running
was also
game.
a good running back at UCLA.
The running game, the lack of pressure that they had on Geno Smith.
Yep.
I mean, I got to tell you what, they came out, this Seattle team, and just out-coached the Cardinals, outplayed them. This basically, besides the last quarter, is just nothing but garbage yards at the very end. I got to commend this coaching staff for Seattle. They made the adjustments as to what the Cardinals would do. The Cardinals are back on the week before the bye. The bye looks to be the kryptonite for the Arizona Cardinals after 3 losses in a row.
And you're in first place.
First place.
6-4.
You're on a roll, man.
Not good at all. But anyway, the back pages, when you're talking New York Post, Daily News, it's all Juan Soto and what that deal is, how big it is, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But Mets swipe Soto from Yanks for $765. Oh my God, big OMG! Of course, Mets in the middle there. In the end, Soto chooses Mets and 15 years, $765 million deal over the Bombers. Sorry, Yanks. That's the Daily News cover. Newsday, meet the $765 million Met. How great is that? Source says Soto leaves the Bronx, gets record 15-year deal to go to Flushing. And then even in the Boston paper, they got into it, the $765 million man. That's the headlines for the New York papers. Nothing for Arizona, unfortunately. They did have Arizona State Sunday. I think it said Arizona State champs, I think. Like Arizona State, as in just the state, colon champs.
That's nice.
That was finally the Arizona Republic is getting into sports.
Yeah, they've only won like the Big 12 championship, and they're going to bye the first round as far as the playoffs
Going to the
are
conference.
concerned.
It's great to see 2 Pac-10, Pac-12
Good
teams
point.
win their championships in the Big 10 and the Big 12, respectively.
Very good
There's a
point.
lot of people have said, oh, they're not any good. There's no one any good. No one's good in the Pac-12. Well, here they are. 2 teams leave, and they are winning championships. That's pretty cool.
Last year is their last year. They had a phenomenal year, and it was unfortunate they had this phenomenal year last year, and then they all split up.
That's right.
And now I think Oregon, ASU, whoever thought that, those teams that are moving on. Then there's those most likely team, USC at 6-6, barely going to a bowl game, but at least they're going to one.
Real quick, just a quick note, CBS Sports, Army, Navy, they've agreed on a 10-year extension to continue airing those games, the annual Army-Navy game, which is on this week. That is one of the best games. I was fortunate to go as a kid at JFK in Philadelphia. That was like where it always was played.
Sure.
You know, right there we had the Naval Yard, and my dad worked on the Navy ships and things of that sort. So pretty cool stuff as the Army Navy game. It's CBS, right? It's CBS. It just makes sense.
It was at Franklin Field, and that's also where the USFL team played as well for Philadelphia at that time, the old Franklin Field.
I lived for a whole year in Franklin Field.
Wow.
When I had that 1 year at University of Penn as their SID, assistant SID or intern SID, whatever you want to call it, I literally lived in Franklin Field. So I looked out where the Penn relays where Penn played. Yeah, I lived in a condemned third floor with the soccer coach.
Was it haunted?
I don't know if it was haunted, but it was condemned. Charlie Regal next.
Roc and Manuch with
You're clear.
You're clear. Sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Hey, Arizona, it's Mike Wilbon. I've been around sports professionally and personally for a long, long time. And whether you're on a court, in the gym, or just navigating a tough day, you need to stay hydrated. That's where Cocoa 5 comes in. Cocoa 5 isn't your average sports drink, packed with the electrolytes your body craves, but without the artificial junk you don't need. Available at your favorite stores, Cocoa 5, active hydration. Stay hydrated, Arizona.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search Holiday and start listening to 99.9 KEZ. Plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists, and podcasts. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop Deal Double G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line. Plus, 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys when you switch.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double-G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that jangle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 eligible trade-ins, and 4 new lines with autopay. Well qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel the entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99. Credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence requires iOS 18.1 or later.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities. So it puts less stress on our household and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-761-0000.
We got Coach on hold.
761-0000.
Broadcasting from the Raffy Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
Baseball's winter meetings are underway. Juan Soto's mega deal with the Mets, the big headline so far. As for the Diamondbacks, their priorities finding a replacement for the expected loss of Christian Walker and getting some bullpen helper at the top of the list. College hoops Saturday, the next game dates for Arizona, ASU, and GCU. The Wildcats play UCLA at Footprint Center. The Sun Devils get Florida, and the Lopes play Georgia, both in Atlanta at the Holiday Hoopsgiving event. ASU's Kamari Wilson has entered the transfer portal. He was the Sun Devils' second-string safety behind leading tackler Miles Rouser. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Happy Monday. A nice forecast today, but still warmer than average. The forecast high is 74 degrees. Plenty of sunshine for us and winds still on the light side. Then tonight, that forecast low falling to 47. We will see a cool down by the time we head into Tuesday afternoon.
We got Charlie on hold.
Weather experts, I'm meteorologist Crystal Ortiz.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Let's talk Sun Devil football. Coach Charlie Ragle now on Fox Sports 910 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, courtesy of the Crest Insurance Group. Combine your home and auto for big savings today. Head to crestins.com.
Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another touchdown for the Big Bruiser.
The Big Bruiser.
Mics are hot. 10 seconds. Mics are hot.
Oh, man, it just doesn't get old, does it? Just keep playing these highlights all day, and we'll be doing it all week. Joining us, as promised, on Thursday of last week. Normally joins us at 1:30 on Thursdays. The assistant head coach for Arizona State, Charlie Ragle, joins us now from the Trophy Bar, which, by the way, Charlie, we just got word that the Big 12 championship trophy is en route to be on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. So I know you've already got a picture taken with it, but what's the better side? What side should I get my picture taken with it?
Oh, right down the middle, baby. Afternoon, fellas. How we doing?
Good, man. But 4th and 1 inches, 35-yard line. What are you guys thinking? Come on. I mean, what's that all about, Coach?
That took some big cajones.
I mean, seriously.
Pelotas.
4th and 1. What's going on with that, Coach?
Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was always looking up, and when we subbed in an extra offensive lineman, and they were pointing him out, and all of a sudden, like, he goes in like a shuffle motion. And so, I'm expecting we're going to run some sort of, split zone. And so I'm looking for him to wham somebody. And all of a sudden, I see him go across. I was like, what is he doing? He's screwing this thing up. And the next thing I know is I see Noquan running down the field wide open. And I'm like, oh, we're throwing this thing. And I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a call. And to me, that kind of changed really the game, kind of just broke it open right there. And I know it's close a little bit longer after that, but that was a heck of a call by Marcus, and obviously led to big start for us and a big football game for the Devils.
Charlie, I thought that the field goal on the opening drive, I thought that was big too, just to pretty much allow that young man to make the field goal. And it seemed as though your guys' attitude was, look, we have opportunities to score, we're going to get it. That was big as far as a confidence builder, and the team kind of going, oh, we're going to kick a field goal and to make it and then come back that following drive to have the trickeration that was the long game by Stovall.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think obviously, it's well chronicled. We've had our ups and downs in the field goal department this season, and to come out and for Karsten to step up on a big stage like that and knock that thing through was just, I think it was a boost to everybody's morale, and he was in the zone, and it really got us going off, the right foot, that day, no pun intended. And then obviously followed up by the big play on the 4th and 1. It just, man, everything fell our way. And obviously it turned out to be a fantastic day there in Jerry World, and obviously Big 12 champions.
We talked about, I think it was the Cincinnati game. We said that early start, 10 o'clock our time, 11 o'clock Dallas time. And you looked at the Cincinnati game. These early morning practices, just really kind of a culmination of the entire year. Your kids came out like, okay, no big deal. You guys were in attack mode, and it looked like Iowa State was the lethargic one. And I don't know what time they practiced, but you guys were on all cylinders from the get-go.
Yeah, you know what? When we got up in the morning, I was a little worried. Like, it was such a weird trip in the sense that, and then we got there, 5 o'clock or so in the afternoon, landed, went to the hotel, and everything was just so bang bang because the start was early, right? So, like, I'm watching the kids come to pregame meal, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, man, I just don't. Are we going to be awake and ready for this thing? And as we got into the locker room, and I've said this to you guys multiple times, these guys our kids were dialed and ready to play. Like, it's just, at some point, I think probably in my mind it's been Oklahoma State, but these guys hit a switch on them, and every single time we've come out to play, these guys have been ready, and they were really locked in and really wanted to, show the world what they were about on Saturday morning, and they did just that.
Charlie Regal's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. All right, Coach, we love having you on the show. You bring great insight into what is taking place. But I want to ask you now, as a assistant coach, how has Hines Ward, the wide receiver coach, with his NFL background, impacted this team? And how much as that has carried over into this team, especially with the wide receivers?
Yeah, I think after being around Hines for, X amount of months that I have been now, you understand why he was a very successful NFL player and played for as long as he did. Very humble, he's just a worker. And you wouldn't know that he's Hines Ward unless, somebody comes up and says, oh, look, it's Hines Ward. He's just a humble, hardworking dude. And I think that anybody that's had that kind of success, when you watch that in this profession, when there's so many guys that promote a fake brand of success, if you will, a guy who's real and has had it and as authentic as him, it's genuine and it rubs off on your stats. But more importantly, that mentality has rubbed off on his players. And I think you see it even more, not just in their development, but I think you see it in how they go block people. Like all these receivers that end up being great receivers, obviously the first thing they can do is run and catch the football, right? But the mentality to, be a little bit selfless and go block for your teammates, I think has really been his stamp on that room. And it has been good for our whole football team, period.
Yeah, Charlie, I've enjoyed watching the game that Marcus Arroyo has called as your offensive coordinator. It has really evolved. I really feel it. Scattaboo and Levitt and all the above, and Jimmy alludes to your wide receivers. How much of a difference, from last year to this year when you look at what he's done with his team, and why would it be so expansive in reference to this year versus last year?
Well, I think it starts with the first thing, and I think you know what it is. It's the quarterback. I mean, I think the growth and development that we've seen Sam, play with over this season from where he started to where he's at, today is night and day in itself. So I think, obviously that growth and development, as I just mentioned, his ability to, win plays with his feet. I think that entire combination, and then what Marcus has done to help grow him, from a mental side. I think that has really allowed us to play at a high level. Furthermore, obviously when you have a running back, as we all know, in Cam and what he has done and capable of, that's a pretty lethal combination. And it's really made for an exciting and productive offense this season.
Charlie Regal, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. I'm curious, when you come down to this big layoff before the Peach Bowl and you have two teams you got to self-scout for, how does the process work from here, and how much practice are you going to be able to get in? And along with that, transfer portal's open now. How do you police that?
Oh, by the way, Charlie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that literally is what I've been doing all day, is just on the phone trying to, lock up a couple of positions here and there. And so recruit right now. Obviously, we've got some downtime, as you mentioned. So our players are going to have some days off here over the next week and let them, see their families, get their legs back underneath them. So they'll be doing that. And then in the meantime, we'll start, bruising both of those ball clubs that we could potentially play in Clemson and Texas, and start to dig in on each of them a little bit, and have enough in the arsenal that when we start practicing next week, we can delve into it a little bit and give our guys a little taste. And as the week continues next week and as we move forward, that will grow. And then obviously next Friday, I believe it is, they play Friday or Saturday. And then obviously we'll hone in on the winner and go ahead and go all out on a full game plan there. But, it's a process. Right now it's really focused on the portal. With just like I said, just starting to look at that, both opponents and a little by little and, day by day. And as the course of the next week goes on, we'll start to lock in a little bit more from a football standpoint.
Charlie, let me follow up on Roc's question about the portal. And when it began, everybody said, oh, no, this is terrible. But ASU went from worst to first by utilizing the portal. What makes your coaching staff so good at utilizing that transfer portal?
Well, I think it's a philosophical approach that at the end of the day, there's two things that you have to be. I think, and I think Kenny can tell you this, flat out. Obviously, you have to be a good player because we need good players to win. But I think it also, we hit on good people. And that's what we really look for, guys that can help us win from an athletic standpoint. But then at the same time, we're good people that wanted to be here in Tempe. And I think that's what we have. We have a group of young men that, weren't highly sought after. Some of them were, but not all of them. But we have a group that is hardworking, selfless, wants to be here in Tempe and plays for one another. And I think, we found that combination. A little bit of luck is certainly sprinkled into that, no matter what anyone tells you. And then, the ability to get down beyond the surface and find out, who people really are. I think that's probably what separates our staff. And I think when you come in and you're in our building, you feel it, that not only are we looking for that, we are that ourselves, because this is where we truly want to be.
Coach, thanks for jumping on with us on a Monday after a big win, and we will talk to you again on Thursday as we get closer to the Peach Bowl. But congrats to you and your staff and all the players and everybody that makes it happen, and we appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the time today.
Oh, my pleasure. How great is it to say, Big 12 champs, boys. I'll talk to you on Thursday.
You got it. That's Charlie Regal, assistant head coach of the Sun Devils. He's brought to you by Crest Insurance. Crest Insurance Group. They've been sponsoring Charlie Regal for the last couple of years here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. They offer personal, business, specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check them out for yourself. CrestINS.com. That's CrestINS.com. Coming up, little Factor Fooey with ABC 15's Craig Fooey. That's next as we're coming to you live from the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Christmas music
You're clear.
is now on our sister station, 99.9 KEZ. Christmas music playing throughout the holidays on 99.9 KEZ. Set a button. Sponsored by JW Marriott Desert Ridge Resort and Spa.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Attention drivers, your safety matters. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing storage services contractor, proudly sponsors the Move Over Law. When you see flashing lights, remember to move over and slow down. Together, we can protect our roadside heroes. Drive safe, Arizona. Sponsored by All City Towing.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Kick off the football season with Twin Peaks, Roc, Manuch, Jimmy B, and Fox Sports 910 for our fantastic tailgating sweepstakes. Text PEAKS to 59925 for your chance to win a Traeger grill, Blackstone griddle, and more. No purchase necessary. Details at rockandmanuch.com.
Yeah, I'm about to call him right now.
Year-round, the House of Canvas and Fine Wrought Iron has you covered. Whether you need a stylish bay window awning for your breakfast nook, a cool shade sail for your
Copy, dialing now.
or a retractable awning for your patio, we have it all. For over 40 years, we've been Arizona's #1 rated shade experts, family-owned and dedicated to making shady deals in the Valley. Visit thehouseofcanvas.com to explore our wide range of quality products, or just call 623-232-9334. Stay cool, stay stylish with the House of Canvas.
Experience sensational sound with Vizio's soundbar collection. Starting at just $99, there's a soundbar
We got Fui on hold.
budget. With Dolby Atmos in every model, cinema quality sound is closer than ever. This collection features Vizio's simplest setup yet, so you'll be streaming your favorite iHeartRadio playlists in no time. Whether you're looking for a simple setup or the cutting-edge Elevate SE with 360-degree sound immersion and auto-rotating speakers, Vizio has you covered. Head to Best Buy or Amazon to find the perfect Vizio soundbar for you.
I'm so excited Zoe's coming home from college.
I'm going to make all her favorites. Oh, maybe we'll go ice skating like we used to.
Oh, looks like she's on her way.
Oh, and she's bringing guests. Where will they sleep? What about pillows and blankets and extra towels? What if someone gets cold? We need duvets.
I know. IKEA.
IKEA?
IKEA.
Discover how convenient shopping with IKEA can be. Get what you need fast. Choose pickup with click and collect, small order shipping, and more. Go to IKEA.com today.
It's time for Fact or Fooey with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fooey. Fooey joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manuch writes the questions. Now
Mics are hot, mics are hot.
ABC 15's Craig Fooey.
Craig Fooey now joins us here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. How you doing today, Fooey? You got anything going on?
No, I got back from Dallas yesterday afternoon, went straight to the station, got on air last night, talking about the Cardinals and ASU, and yeah, it's been quite a weekend. It's been fun.
This is why you love being in this business, isn't it? I mean, this kind of stuff, because this doesn't happen very often. You got to kind of pinch yourself, especially for a university that has not had this kind of success really ever in any of our time. I mean, maybe if you were here in the 70s like Manuch, but other than that, it's other than one Rose Bowl, there really hasn't been much to root for Arizona State.
No, and I'll tell you what, that game Saturday against Iowa State, the Big 12 championship, was unbelievable. And they just controlled that game. And, of course, coming out at halftime and getting the 3 turnovers and, scoring on each one of them was incredible. It was a fun game to be at with a lot of ASU fans there.
How was your trip to the game? I noticed you had to sit next to a Cyclone fan on your flight. That had to be interesting.
That was hilarious. The guy got silent though. He went quiet on me. He wasn't sure what to say. He had a buddy that got on the plane after me, and he was wearing an ASU shirt. So I think he's used to the ribbing back and forth. But it was fun. We got down there and went to Texas Live with all the fans on Friday night. That was insane. And then the game had a lot of ASU fans there, which was really cool. And then we met up with a lot of fans at the airport on Sunday coming back. So it was pretty fun.
Have you already booked your flight to Atlanta?
We actually have. Yeah, we just booked it about an hour ago. So we're ready to go to the Peach Bowl.
Awesome. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. It's ABC 15's Craig Fooey. We do it every Monday. It's called Fact or Fooey. And here's our first one. ASU Athletic Director Graham Rossini should immediately give Kenny Dillingham a $3 million raise. Fact or Fooey?
Fact. I don't think he can, though. Here's the problem. He's got to deal with the border region.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what that contract says, but I think he has to wait another year maybe or something on that deal. But, yeah, I'm sure there have been conversations. I'm sure he is in a good place with Graham. I talked to Graham about 3 times down in Dallas over the weekend, and it sounds like everything's where it should be right now. So I'm not too worried about keeping Kenny around.
I mean, I know other states have the same kind of, restrictions with regions and things like that. There's got to be a way around it. Like
an immediate session can be held?
No, like some side gig money. Like who's to say that he can't start an LLC and all of a sudden somebody starts, giving him a consulting fee or something. He makes another $3 million on the side through his little LLC. Is there a way to do it to make more money that way?
How about a GoFundMe page?
That could work too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, with some of the with a number of the big money boosters that I talked to in Dallas over the weekend, it wouldn't surprise me if those guys decided to make up some kind of Kenny Dillingham fund, right? and give him something to just entice him to stick around. But I know Graham's working on stuff, and I know he'll work through this. But yeah, there's got to be some way to do it, and just make sure Kenny feels comfortable staying.
Yeah, I mean, we're here at the Trophy Bar, which is owned by a bunch of Sun Devils, one in particular that has been instrumental on this collective. Why can't he say, hey, we'll give you half of the bar, and he can make money that way? I mean, he can give a part of the Trophy Bar.
And then sell the share.
All you got to do is bartend. I just need you to bartend every Monday night.
Yeah, one shift, why not? 10 minutes. All right.
God forbid we make it legal in the meantime. All right, Coach, question number 2. After Saturday's 208 yards of total offense and 3 touchdowns scored, Cam Scadaboo deserves to be named a finalist and invited for the Heisman Trophy presentation this Saturday. And I know that's going to happen this afternoon sometime. So fact or phooey?
That's a fact. I don't think it's going to happen, but I believe he should be. I mean, he is, and they talked about it after the game. Kenny talked about it. Sam Levitt talked about it. Cam talked about it. Xavier Guillory talked about it. I mean, we all know what Cam Scadaboo has meant to this team, right? In terms of his yardage from line of scrimmage rushing, his receiving, what he can do. As he said Saturday, Cam afterwards, he goes, I'll play quarterback. I'll kick the ball, whatever you want, punt, whatever. And even that scramble where he threw it out, right? And was like, he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's like, it all turns out great for Cam Scadaboo all the time. So I think he should be on that list. I just don't think he will be on the list. I hope he does, but I just don't think he will.
All right, Fooey, I'm going to take you then to the other team that just happens to play at State Farm Stadium. Yep. Number 3, lack of red zone scoring, turnovers, and ultimately penalties. Untimely penalties have been the main issue for the Cardinals after coming off their bye week. Fact or phooey?
Yeah, that's a fact. Listen, they've lost 3 straight now. They were on a roll. They were 6-4 going into the bye, had won 4 straight games. And now since then, in the last 3 games, I think Kyler's thrown 5 interceptions, if I'm not mistaken. So, and then the penalties yesterday with Paris Johnson and Yelda throw holds and, just the untimely penalties that give the other team an advantage are just critical. And passes being batted down and interceptions thrown directly to a defensive player. Those are things that'll kill you. And that's what's killing this Cardinals team. And I was just talking to a couple guys in the media center here at Cardinals building, which is where I'm at, and just saying, we used to blame Cliff for the late season meltdown, and now we've got another one going here under another coach. So what's going on? And
I think you got a quarterback, unfortunately, that's still kind of falling into that pattern of really struggling in November, December, leading into the end of the year. That's one thing. But Coach, I want to get your coaching opinion. Why so many issues after playing so well, as you alluded to? Did that break all the continuity for this team, you think, aside from the defense?
Yeah, no, I agree. And there were some things that the defense did, right? It's not like the defense was outstanding.
Sure.
They gave up 30 points, right? And so it wasn't like, they had 2. I asked Roy Lopez just about an hour or so ago here, just about the sudden change. And he goes, we thrive on sudden change. He goes, that's what we want. We're chomping at the bit, right? We're licking our chops. And yet they couldn't stop the Seahawks on those 2 sudden change turnovers. So, there's issues across the board. And I think right now guys are looking at each other. And as Roy Lopez told us a little while ago, he goes, we're in it together, and we're still smiling at each other and still encouraging each other. But we got the people on this team. We just can't seem to get it together right now.
All right, next one. The bye week was the worst thing that could have happened for the Cardinals this year. Fact or phooey?
Fact. Don't take a bye. Like, we were laughing last night when Kenny said he's going to give the team a week off. I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Make them work. Even practice. But yeah, I mean, clearly you see the change in this team, and it's not like they're amazing. Not trying. Yeah. It's just that things aren't clicking. So, yeah.
All right, Coach. Last one. The Phoenix Suns are at best a subpar 500 team without Kevin Durant. At best, a sub 500 team without Kevin Durant. Fact or phooey?
At best, they're about 7 games under 500, right? Without Kevin Durant, they just can't win without him, right? And it's something else. I mean, Durant's been spectacular. He's got it was at the ankle now, I think.
Right.
He'll be reevaluated this week, and so they don't play well together. And I go back to this D'Antoni thing when he was here 20 years ago now. That people used to say D'Antoni doesn't develop a bench, right? And D'Antoni would always respond with, tell me how many guys that were on my bench last year are in the NBA this year. None. So, if you don't have a great bench, it's hard to win
3
without your superstars. And let's face it, in the NBA, you can't win without 2 or 3 superstars. And it just so happens that Kevin Durant, the guy that we've questioned his leadership abilities, he's the glue that's keeping this team on the winning track. So you need Kevin Durant back, and you need him to stay healthy.
Did I see 1-9 is their record without Durant? Is that what I read?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's correct.
Hey, that's 30
Yeah,
points
that's why I
that you're
said 7.
taking
I
off
meant
the
to say
floor.
8.
Yeah.
I know. No, you need him on the floor, and you need that leadership, whatever he brings to this, whatever that mix is, right? It's like trying to bake bread and leaving out one key ingredient. It doesn't turn out, and that's what Kevin Durant is to this team. It's awful.
Philly, as always, buddy, thanks for the time, and we look forward to talking to you next week. And don't work too hard this week, okay?
No, heavens, no. See you guys.
That's Craig Philly, ABC 15, joining us from getting ready for Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon presser, as he does every Monday. So good to have him there. He is brought to you today by Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations. We'll be there Thursday. I'm not sure which location. I think it's Scottsdale. Yeah, we'll be there Scottsdale. Don't forget, you can always get in our Fan Pick'em. Just go to fanpick'em.com, and you can win some gift cards thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light.
Let me just follow up on the Suns for a brief moment without Kevin Durant, because right now the Suns are pedestrian with the way that they play basketball.
That's surprising, though, Jimmy.
I know it's surprising.
It really is.
You would think that Beal and Booker could carry that load, even against an Orlando team where people are scratching their head going, who are these guys? But that Orlando team is talented. They are they're in the beginning of becoming Oklahoma City on the East Coast.
How do you lose to New Orleans? I know they shot lights out, but those are a bunch of no-name kids.
That's correct.
That are out there. They were like, I don't know, 4-18 or something like that.
Welcome to the NBA.
If the Cardinals weren't doing what the Cardinals are doing and ASU was not doing what we're doing, the Suns would be getting bashed pretty hard right now.
Yes, I agree with that.
They're not getting any love right now.
No.
Rightfully so, but they would be getting a lot of crap if our attention was somewhere else.
I would agree.
I agree.
Or wasn't somewhere else, I should say.
Yeah.
So that's not good for them. Hey, our G2G Protein Bar weekend game changers are coming up. That's next. Plus, if we have some time, we'll discuss the Soto deal. And what does it mean for the Diamondbacks? Because it does affect the Diamondbacks, and I'll tell you how next. It's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B for the Trophy Bar, Downtown Ocotillo.
You're clear.
Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Offensive tackle Jordan Sevillanea of Arizona has announced he's foregoing his last year of eligibility and is entering the 2025 NFL Draft. He's trying to follow in the footsteps of the Wildcats' Jordan Morgan, who was a first-round pick of the Packers this past spring. Also, Arizona linebacker Jacob Manu has entered the transfer portal. ASU, meanwhile, with their sights set on the college football playoff, they earned the number 4 seed and a trip to Atlanta on New Year's Day for the Peach Bowl against either Texas or Clemson. The Suns with a few days off before taking on the Jazz in Utah on Friday. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the ultimate lunch lineup boasts wall-to-wall sports and scenic views. When you're hungry and in a hurry, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Hey, Arizona, it's Mike Wilbon. I've been around sports professionally and personally for a long, long time. And whether you're on a court, in the gym, or just navigating a tough day, you need to stay hydrated. That's where Cocoa 5 comes in. Cocoa 5 isn't your average sports drink, packed with the electrolytes your body craves, but without the artificial junk you don't need.
Yeah, I do see that. Yep.
Favorite stores, Cocoa 5, active hydration. Stay hydrated, Arizona.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks, but Lerner & Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner & Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line.
We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation.
The trophy has arrived.
Really easy, super stress-free. 5G so fast, like blazing fast. Games and memes, you'll have a blast. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss.
Know everything, Rock.
We for our one Cricket Nation.
And only 25.
Now through January 2nd. Learn more at mbusa.com/special offers.
Mics are hot.
All right, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at the Trophy Bar. Speaking of trophies, the Big 12 Championship trophy just arrived. I'm a little disappointed.
Why?
Well, you know when they have the Stanley Cup?
Yeah.
The guy's got it in a box. He's got the white gloves.
The white glove.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the gloves on.
Well, he's got it covered, Rock. He's got it in a
No, I don't. It's the Big 12 Championship. It's a trophy.
He's got it covered so nobody can smudge it.
By the way, in about 15 minutes, if you are listening to us on the radio or iHeartRadio app, go and get it, the video. Get us on either Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, and you'll see the trophy as we will bring it to you live in about 15 minutes when Tim Hovick joins us here at his bar, the Trophy Bar. But let's get to our G2G Protein Bar game changers from the weekend. And this is, I know people get tired of hearing it, but it's just like if you listen to a radio show and you went to U of A, you'd be tired of hearing about ASU, right? Or vice versa.
Absolutely.
And I went to the Ohio University, and we won the MAC. And here's a little love because it had to do with a couple kids that were local.
Navarro keeps it. Touchdown, Ohio. They answer the Miami field goal with 6. Navarro breaks a tackle in the backfield, and he's got a second rushing touchdown, his 15th rushing touchdown of the season. Navarro hit, finds a
Flip ends 10 seconds.
His tight end rumbles in for 6. Navarro, chased by Ugu, floats it downfield. Owen, the catch for a score. What a throw.
How about that? Parker Navarro from Tempe had a great morning, great afternoon, 20-27 in the air, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 73 on the ground, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He was the offensive player of the game. You heard that last touchdown. That was from Coleman Owen, who's from Gilbert. So a couple guys making their way to the Mid-American Conference, playing for the Ohio University. And for the first time since 1968, they defeated Miami 38-3 to win the championship. So good stuff there. They'll play in the Cure Bowl against Rich Rod and Jacksonville State on December 20th. So the champion Bobcats still have one more stop on their third straight 10-win season. So they are my game changers.
Manuch, are you pretty happy with another one of your pupils as a star?
Yeah, and I think he's really persevered a lot. He came from UCF.
Yeah.
He had a UCL injury 2 years ago, came back off that like Brock Purdy. And this year, he's a phenomenal athlete. At Desert Vista, he out basically, it was Chubba Purdy and him in a playoff game. Perry High School, Chubba beat him 69-68.
Wow.
So he's had this talent. He's had this ability. And I'm just so happy for the young man. His dad is Joel Navarro, who's a city council member for Tempe for many years, now on the Board of Supervisors. He's just persevered and endured.
And he takes over for Roc, who went on to Indiana.
Yes.
It, of course, led them to an incredible season. So,
and they're in the playoffs.
you can't sell short these Mid-American Conference schools, right? As their coach, Tim Albin, he already's been hired at Charlotte, which a little head scratcher there. Maybe just Ohio U just doesn't have the money, or he wanted to go to Charlotte. He had been at Ohio for many years as an assistant and then a head coach. So maybe his stop in Athens was enough, 4 years as the head coach. So anyway, that's my game changer thanks to G2G.
All right, my G2G Protein Bar's game changer. We're going to go back to AT&T Stadium in Dallas.
Scadaboo's the featured tailback here on 1st and goal. And what else?
Clip ends 10 seconds.
His second rushing touchdown of the game, 140 yards and 2 touchdowns now for Cam Scadaboo.
Yeah, thank you to ESPN. It's Cam Scadaboo, 170 yards, 2 TD runs. 10.5 yard on average carry, 38 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown catch for 208 yards of total offense in ASU's 45-19 win over Iowa State in the Big 12 championship game. And, guys, the way he ran, yards after contact, just bound and determined. I got to tell you what, he loaded up on them G2G protein bars before the game, and he had it going on.
All right, I did this one for Rock because this was a double dip for him with the University of Ohio winning. How about his Philadelphia Eagles as well? And Saquon Barkley breaks Shady LaShawn McCoy's single-season rushing record. Now Barkley has over 1,600 yards, and here's the run that did it.
It is a give to Saquon Barkley. And
Clip ends in 10.
this is LaShawn McCoy, the all-time single-season rushing leader in Philadelphia Eagles history. It is now Saquon Barkley.
Well, there you go. Now, Barkley needs 483 yards in his final 4 games to break the NFL single-season rushing record, 483. So he gets my G2G bar player of the day. By the way, remember, this is now a 17-game season. If he gets over 2,000 yards, which it appears that he is going to do, just remember that O.J. Simpson ran for 2,000 yards in a 14-game season. So I'll always ask Manuch, because he always wants to put an asterisk on everything. Do you put an asterisk on that?
No, I wouldn't. I think if he runs it.
No, you put it on OJ's.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. In those days, it was 70% run to 30% passing. So they ran the ball. Well, they ran the ball. What I'm trying to say to you, they ran the ball much, much more.
Okay.
Which you really look at OJ from the electric company, if you will.
That is correct.
They ran the ball more. They don't run the ball quite as much as they used to. So I was at, I think, 60-40 or 50-50. You got to give him a lot of credit. He's had a lot of long runs, a lot of home run balls. So I give him more credit in reference to the 17 games.
G2G protein bars, if you have not tried one, you need to. What makes these bars so delicious is they're fresh, no preservatives, and they're stored in the refrigerator. You buy them in the refrigerator at Costco. So head over to Costco and check out the refrigerator section and get yourself some G2G protein bars. Or check them out online, g2gbar.com. Get one today, g2gbar.com. Coming up, we will catch up with the Big 12 Championship Trophy and Tim Hovick, who joined us for the trophy.
Are we going to interview?
We're interviewing the trophy.
Okay.
Yes. Also, to remind you, tonight you can win $9,100 in our Roll the Dice promotion that we've been doing every Monday night, the Jumbo Dice. You roll them. If you roll Fox 910, you win $9,100. If you roll 6 of the caricatures, you win a big screen TV like Tex did last week. So he picked up his big screen TV, I believe, over the weekend. So congrats to him. Maybe we'll give another one away tonight as well. So each week we select 20 lucky contestants that get to roll the dice. So coming up next, Tim Hovick will join us from Santan Ford to Roc and Manuch for Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
You're clear.
Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
Jenny, come on in. Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Steve, how you doing?
Meg.
Meg, nice to see you. Hey, Meg.
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. # sexy roof status. At State 48 Roofing, we are family owned and operated, born and raised in Arizona. We'd love to give back to our schools and community. Contact us at state48roofing.com.
In the fast lane of life, your fuel should keep up. Time to check out G2G protein bars, your ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether it's a workday, gym session, or navigating daily chaos, G2G has got you covered. Find them now at your local Costco in the refrigerated section, or explore all 8 fantastic flavors at g2gbar.com. Great tasting and packed with protein, so keep pace with life in the fast lane with G2G protein bars.
Craving tacos? Discover the Taco Spot, where mouth-watering, authentic Mexican flavors meet a modern twist. With 12 locations and more on the way, we're the local favorite. Visit TacoSpotAZ.com and follow us on social media. Come experience the tacos to Taco Bout, the Taco Spot.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
The only place you're going to find
Roc, can you hear me?
screens with games on.
Do you know how long they're having the trophy out by chance?
Bar.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
With dozens more big screens. You'll find every game you're looking for only at Duke's, because there's only one Duke's. Voted best sports bar by New Times.
Duke's on Miller and McDowell.
Pool tables, shuffleboard tables, darts.
Probably an hour. Okay, I was going to try to swing by after the show, but all good.
Greenbelt. All done.
And yes, we do. We got Zach and Gilbert.
Miller and McDowell.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not
required. 1 second. I got him on hold right now. 1 second. 1 second.
Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text him.
All right, you guys. All right, Zach is going with the Cowboys, but he's going to keep it low key if that's okay with you guys.
Testosterone.
Now you know Cowboys.
Plus, text now, and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful
incinerator
ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text HIM to 321321. That's him to 321321.
This holiday season, Straight Talk Wireless is letting you say yes a lot more with real unlimited data. Yes to sharing pics of the ugliest holiday sweaters. Yes to checking weather on the go for surprise sledding trips. And with a free phone at sign up, let the yes-tivities begin.
No way!
Yes way. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 1/5/25 while supplies last at participating stores. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation on select single line plans. Limit of 2 phones per customer. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
We are Santan Ford. Now to break down tonight's Monday night game and give his lock is owner and operator of Santan Ford in Gilbert, Tim Holt.
Mics are hot. Mics are hot.
Manuch with Jimmy B tonight for another Monday night game at the Trophy Bar and your chance to roll the dice for $9,100. Now, Tim Hovick on Fox Sports 910.
All right, Tim joins us here at the Trophy Bar at Downtown Ocotillo, and if we recommend you, if you want to see the Big 12 Championship Trophy, go to YouTube, go to our Facebook page or our Twitter page. Just search Roc and Manuch. That's ROCANDMANUCH, and you can see the Big 12 Championship Trophy. Or if you're in the area, come on by. It's starting to pick up right now. It's almost like a Saturday here watching football. But before we do that, because we are here because of the Monday night game, let's get the picks out of the way. As each week, you have an opportunity to challenge Tim Hovick from Santan Ford in the Monday night game because we're here to host the games. And Tim's 6-1. Took the Broncos last week.
He's crushing it.
So Zach and Gilbert took the Cowboys this week, Tim. So who are you going with this week? Is it the Bengals and the Cowboys? You know, you could go with the Cowboys and it goes down to a score. But if you go with the Bengals, then it's no score.
So the Cowboys is a really good pick, but it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Okay, it's wrong.
Zach, you hearing that?
We are going with the Bengals tonight, minus the 4.5.
Yes.
And the reason is
at the spread.
The Sun Devils have scored more touchdowns in that stadium this year than the Cowboys have. So based on that, we're going to think that the trend continues. I've got Cincinnati 23-16. And they're going to win outright and, of course, cover.
All right, there you go. So Zach and Gilbert with the Cowboys. If he wins, he'll win a gift card from the Trophy Bar here in Ocotillo, or Chandler, that is. All right, let's get to what's the reason. One of the reasons why we're here is Tim Hovick and this Big 12 Championship Trophy. So have you got to hold it yet? I mean, have you? You're somewhat responsible for the success here of the program.
That's your baby right there. I want to wrap it up as like an infant and just sort of cradle it and rock it in my arms. It's a very majestic looking piece of artwork.
How heavy do you think it is?
I'm pretty sure. I think we're in the right spot.
We are at trophies.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I heard the Territorial Cup has already made its way through here.
It has made its way. We're doing a pretty good job of making sure that our namesake is a magnet for all of these newfound things in our trophy case.
I like that.
Tim,
I
you
like
look
that.
at this thing right in front of you and just think back midsummer. The Sun Devils are picked 16th at basically the bottom of the poll. When you look at that, what are some of your thoughts? It's right here. Sun Devils won the Big 12 championship. I mean, what are some of your immediate thoughts?
You know, you're still trying to kind of come to grips with it, right?
Exactly.
That this is real, that this has actually happened. I can remember, and I think I might have mentioned it to you guys. I was at the kickoff luncheon, and every year I have a little part in it, and I poke a little fun at our neighbor down south, and you know, I've been there through the good times and the tougher times. And I remember afterwards we had a little bit of a post event over here at Trophy, and a lot of us were sitting around, and the conversation was, I think we could go 6-6. I think we could make a bowl game. You know, and that was about as optimistic as we could get, because about half of us thought that, and the other half of us said there is no way we're going to win 6 games this year. So fast forward, I remember after the Cincinnati game, I was lucky enough to be there, and the next day, Sunday morning, I'm texting back and forth with Coach Dillingham, and we're both disappointed in the outcome, but we're, you know, trying to pump ourselves up because, hey, nobody expected us to be 5-2. We are 5-2. Let's move forward. You know, a lot of optimism, and from 5-2 to 11-2. You know, I don't know how fast the time flew, but it's like, wow, what has happened?
You kind of think, how'd that happen overall? But for you as a major, you know, you look at a major donor, major alumnus, all the above. What have you been content, or you seen as the constants with this team?
You know, they play smart football. They play aggressive football. You know, you guys have talked about it.
Fourth and inches, and they're going for it.
What was going through your mind when you're at the game?
Okay, well, that was a difference, because it wasn't smart football, but boy, it sure was aggressive. Yeah, you know, that's like the basketball coach when the guy jacks up the 3-pointer and he's going, no. Oh, good, it went in. Yeah, I think that's what all the Sun Devil fans, when he faked the handoff and he's standing back there, and you're just going, that didn't just happen. There's no way this is happening. And then when he threw it, you're going, just catch it. Yeah. Just catch it.
So
it happened to be right in front of us, and he's so open. He's open by 15 yards, and you've seen that guy drop that one, right? And you're going, oh gosh, please catch this. When he caught it, I think everybody just went, okay, this is the same as we played all year. This is Sun Devil football.
So what was a bigger applause with the people you were watching the game? The first play of the game with Cam, or that 4th and 1? Because that first play was pretty awesome.
It was pretty
good. Set the tone.
It was pretty good. I think there were 3 moments in the weekend that to me were kind of a tie for the most crazy excitement. One was that first Cam run. The other was that catch. And the third one was when Sun Devil Nation on the Friday night tailgate party found out it was an open bar. Those 3 things seem like on equal. They seem like they got about the same amount of applause by everybody.
I hope you didn't get a call from your credit card company to approve that tab, because I can only imagine. Because I know if I was there, I would have. Yeah, well, I would have put it over.
I sent paperwork in and said I lost my credit card, so I'm not sure if it's going to hold up, but we're trying every angle we can.
I got a question. You being the fan that you are, and with the fans in the stands, have you guys come to the realization that almost every time that Cam Scattaboo touches the football, he's going to break one?
You know, it's sort of must-watch TV, must-watch sports. It's he gets it, and you're just a normal football fan. So he goes into the line, and you're like, there's nothing there, and you're processing it, you know, super fast in your head, and you're like, yeah, he's going to fall forward for 2, and then he breaks out of some pile, and you go, okay, that'll be 8, and then he breaks out of the next group, and you're like, this is going to be a 20-yard run, and he's still going. I mean, it is something else to try and just even go, okay, did that just really happen?
Yeah.
He's like a gyroscope. You know, just continues to move and move and move. but it doesn't surprise me. The one thing I want to go back to is just the field goal. First drive for Kenny to go, we're going for it. We're going to put trust to kick that field goal. I think surprised a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you know what? To show the confidence in that young man, we're gonna incorporate everybody. That spoke volumes of what Kenny's philosophy was going to be for that game, I thought.
I think you're spot on, and people forget, I think, it is such a team sport.
Yes.
And everybody's counting on everybody else. And when you have drives and they don't quite go right, or maybe you're forced to make a decision that you wouldn't make if you were in a different spot. I go back to the Kansas State game. We made a long field goal in that game. And I was fortunate enough to be down on the field, and I looked at just the energy on the bench. Every player on the team, it was almost like a game winner. They were so excited, and it was as if it sent a message. Hey, if this gets close, we got this, because we really can make field goals. And when he started the game out like that, you felt the same from the sideline. Sure. You felt that the team looked at it and said, okay, this is going to be, we get the ball down there, we are going to get points every time. If we can't get a touchdown, we're going to knock a field goal.
So Tim Hovick joining us here at the Trophy Bar with the Big 12 Championship trophy sitting on our table here. We got a long time until the Peach Bowl. I mean, you've been going nonstop, and every week we get to talk about the Sun Devils and how hot they've been in this run. What are we going to talk about in the next 3 weeks? I mean, what are we gonna get into?
Devils football, man.
I mean, the transfer portal open today.
Football.
We have a bunch of people that want to transfer here.
I'm gonna put I'm gonna put some sort of a travel show together next week. I'll talk about where you can get your airline reservations to Atlanta, what hotel rooms are available,
what Airbnbs,
what we can do in the meantime. I'll tell you what, I was so proud of Sun Devil Nation. There had to be 40,000 people down in Dallas. It was transformational. I haven't seen that since the Rose Bowl years, and we've talked about it all year, getting everybody together.
Activating the Valley.
To Kenny's point, and he has been spot on. And obviously we know winning helps an awful lot, but it's a difference. You can just feel it, the energy in the athletic department with Graham Rossini and everybody else. It's special. And I don't know how many Sun Devils are going to be in Atlanta, but I know the airlines are sold out, and they're talking already about having to add more flights. This is a special time, and I encourage all Sun Devils, if you haven't jumped on board yet, there's still plenty of room on the train. Let's go.
I want to also get into something that sounded it was activated last week too. Nat Lawrence put a lot of the big hitters together last Thursday. I understand close to $3 million was raised for the NIL and the collective to your point, maybe go after some of those portal kids, keep the kids that are here, and Nap just kind of shared that with us before. Close to $3 million, Tim. That's activating your alumni and your boosters that this is serious business. We got to keep these kids or go after some new kids.
Yeah, that's a pretty good cocktail party. I mean, that's well done.
Yes,
I think it everything comes together. You've got a coach who embraces it and understands it. You've got an athletic director who's not just looking at, hey, we got to get these kids paid. He's looking at the student-athlete experience. And he's looking at, hey, what can we do to make going to Arizona State University as special as it should be? And I think you bring all that together with an energized fan base, the alumni, the boosters, all the things that are available within this community for resources. And it's a special time to be a Sun Devil, and I don't see it changing.
Winning is contagious. The basketball team is flying under the radar. They're 8-1. This men's basketball team, their only loss was Gonzaga by 8. They're blowing teams away. They got Florida on Saturday. This could be another little secret, little hidden gem that no one's talking about that could turn it on here. Once Pac-12. Big 12 play starts.
Yeah, and to credit to Bobby Hurley, because there's such an enthusiasm amongst the department.
Mm-hmm.
I'm before the game, I look up, Bobby Hurley's standing there. Hey, Tim, he's got the assistant coaches there in the stadium rooting on the football team. Our women's volleyball team won Arizona State's first Big 12 championship in history. That can never be taken away. You can only be first once. Our women's volleyball team won the Big 12 championship last week. So it's from start to finish throughout the athletic department, the enthusiasm, you just feel it. It's an exciting time to be a Sun Devil. And for those of us that have been around a couple of years, it's well overdue.
That perseverance and endurance pays off, literally, if you stop thinking about that. The doldrums that were at ASU. Now, everybody talks about the sleeping giant. Hopefully the sleeping giant
1 minute or break
has
whenever.
awakened for this ASU football program.
Yeah, one of my brothers was with me at the game, and we laughed. At the end of the game, we looked at each other. I think we were both a little emotional, and we said, we knew this had happened. We just weren't sure if we were going to live long enough to see it. So it's nice to know we made it. We got there.
Oh, it's good stuff. Well, hey, Tim, it's been fun. We appreciate you coming on last Friday. I mean, you've done more media than I don't even know who you. Maybe more than Sessman.
30 or break whenever.
I don't know. I mean, you got a lot of FaceTime this week.
It's fun. I've had a number of people remind me. I do have a face for radio.
Yeah, we get that
so
every
I
day.
appreciate
Yeah.
that. I did
Built
a little bit.
for tough,
did
right?
a little bit of television.
15, break
but
whatever.
I will tell you, I don't know how long it's going to be here, but if you're within 10 or 15 minutes and driving by the trophy, boy, come check out this trophy.
10.
Because the Big 12 championship trophy is pretty darn cool.
We'll come back with more Roc and Manuch. We'll bring back Charlie Regal next on Fox Sports 910.
Roc and Manuch.
You're clear.
Has been sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important.
Okay, let me take you off program 1. Yeah, we could put Charlie on immediately.
And reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it
Perfect. We'll do. Just got to pull it from the audio.
helping over 150,000 people.
Problem. We just got to do outro if we can right now.
For their injuries. When it comes to
All right, you're on program off program 1. We got Frank Sanders after. You're good whenever. All good.
For a location near you, head to phillysportsgrill.com.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search Holiday and start listening to 99.9 KEZ. Plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists, and podcasts. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
CEOs You Should Know gives you an opportunity to learn from some of the top business executives across Arizona and the country. Hi, it's Rich Barra. Come and join me by searching CEOs You Should Know Phoenix on your free iHeartRadio app.
Wow, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
This holiday at T-Mobile, I'm joined by a special co-anchor.
What up, everybody? It's your boy, Big Snoop Double G.
Snoop, let's talk about T-Mobile.
Okay, cool.
This holiday, get 4 lines for $25 a line. Plus 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence and the all-new camera control on us.
Let's get cracking, like a breakfast egg.
You can use those eggs to make some eggnog, Snoop.
Respect.
And people do love T-Mobile, where you can save on every plan versus the other big guys when you switch.
You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
Always a great stocking stuffer, Snoop.
We up out of here.
Hold your horses, Snoop D-O-double-G. Let's remind people one more time.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get 4 iPhone 16s with Apple Intelligence on us. Plus 4 lines for $25. Now drop that J.
With 24 monthly bill credits, 4 eligible trade-ins, and 4 new lines with autopay. Well qualified customers plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Cancel the entire account before receiving 24 bill credits and credit stop and balance on required finance agreements due. $829.99. Credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save on wireless and streaming versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence requires iOS 18.1 or later.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Raffi Law Group Studios. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD3 Phoenix. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports talk, podcasts, and music. Free never sounded so good.
It was a rough day at the office for Kyler Murray against the Seahawks yesterday. A couple of interceptions for the Cardinals QB that allowed Seattle to take a lead they would not relinquish.
We kept fighting till the end, just ran out of time.
didn't make enough plays. They made more plays than us. Again, like I said, you put that on me. We will be better next week.
Murray has thrown 5 picks in the last 3 games, all Cardinals losses. They're 6-7, 2 games in back of Seattle in the division. Couple of wins for ASU hockey over the weekend against Minnesota Duluth. The Sun Devils now with a couple of weeks off from game action. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Tonight, our forecast low falls to 47 degrees. We're trending a bit cooler as we head into Tuesday because of a cold front. In fact, the forecast high gets up to 68 degrees, which is close to average for this time of year. It'll be breezy and sunny as well. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm meteorologist Crystal Ortiz.
This report is sponsored by PayPal.
This season, the PayPal app has amazingly low prices for holiday shopping. Get exclusive cashback offers in the app. And with the PayPal debit card, PayPal stacks 5% more in the monthly category of your choosing on up to $1,000 in purchases. Don't just pay, PayPal.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B is sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the
Mics are hot.
Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. on Fox Sports 910.
We're out here at the Trophy Bar, Downtown Ocotillo, which is Queen Creek and Price. And the Big 12 Championship trophy is here. And this place is absolutely packed. You would think it's a Friday at happy hour. There's people standing around all over the place getting their picture taken. So if you're in the area and you want to get a picture of the Big 12 Championship trophy, this is the place, the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo. This is cool. It's just this whole thing about Arizona State and the success they're having, and look at what it's doing to the community. It's a really cool feeling that, there's so much support, and this is what winning is contagious. Imagine if the Arizona Cardinals could do this.
Get back to where the Bruce Arian era,
where they had a taste and got to the Super Bowl. Remember, the town needs it.
I thought Tim Hovick nailed it when he said, "Look, we've been waiting a long time. You look at, you think of the '86 Rose Bowl, the '96 Rose Bowl. There's been intermittent success, right? So now with Kenny Dillingham and his staff, and this team winning the Big 12 championship, they're hoping this will be a constant for this program.
Yeah.
And not this so-called sleeping giant. Well, hopefully the giant has awoken and they want to move forward with this. And I just think he summarized. He's been a big booster for many years. That they're enjoying the fruits of their efforts here at the Trophy Bar, and folks are gathering. Wow, is this really happening? Yeah, it's really happening, and it's really a testament to those that have supported and hung out with this team the last 20, 25 years.
What's amazing, though, is there's even kids coming in here,
Sure.
like high school kids, just got off, going to class, and they're here getting their picture taken with the Big 12 championship trophy. And, there's people that aren't even Sun Devils like ourselves that are totally embracing this moment, especially you just feel good for all these people.
Well, and for me, growing up a Sun Devil and wanting to play baseball, football, whatever, and then, I did pretty good going to Kansas State, but I'm so happy for this town, this community, that finally, it's been so many years later that they can count on the 86 Rose Bowls I mentioned, the 96 Rose Bowl, that they've won a Rose Bowl, and now hopefully here they are on the precipice, Rock, on the front door of maybe having the chance of winning a national title. They're going to the first round against the winner of Texas or Clemson, and then they'll play that in the Peach Bowl. It's like, wait a second, how did this happen? So people are here, people around the town are going, wow, this is for real. This is the real deal, and this is something they're so happy about it. And folks, enjoy it while you can. You just hope it becomes a common occurrence. And as we mentioned, Nap Lawrence, probably the biggest booster for Arizona State University. Got several, maybe more than several of the, to-be's, the guys of the big boosters, guys and gals. And they collected just in one night $3 million. That's just a start last Thursday to understand if you're going to play with the big boys and go in that pond, you're going to have to be able to fess up like the big boys to keep your players, go get new players, and just make sure you keep this kind of a successful regime moving forward.
I want to know what the guy gets paid that is in charge of the Big 12 trophy.
Big 12, yeah.
All he's doing is walking around, having a good time with the trophy. I want that job.
Is that a per hour basis?
I want to be in charge of the Big 12 trophy. I want that job. How do you get that job? And then, you get to ride that for a year.
Sure you do.
That's a cush job.
Yes.
Everybody wants to see the trophy, right? You could go to, the trophy bar here, and then you go to all their sponsors. Like, I don't know how many cold beers are 30. He's got to go to every probably cold beer. He's got to do that. So they're going to play the winner of Clemson and Texas. By the way, they have never played each other. Clemson has never played Texas, which is hard to believe. You would think, well, even like what happened Saturday, I would have thought we would have played, or Arizona State played Iowa State, but that never happened. So, Clemson, they earned the 12th seed despite being ranked at number 16. They beat SMU in that last-second field goal, as we all know, as time expired, as they earned the conference championship. And then Texas, they've lost twice to Georgia this season, once at home, once in the SEC championship. But the Longhorns are undefeated against 11 teams that they have played. So this game is Saturday. I believe it's a 4 o'clock game, and it's on TNT. Yeah, so TNT is going to get in the college football business. Of course, you got Penn State and SMU. They're going to play for just the third time in their history. They haven't played since '78, and they will play. In their game at Penn State. The winner of that will play Boise State in the Fiesta Bowl, in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. That game is the early game. That game is at 10 a.m. on Saturday. So the Clemson-Texas game is actually 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. I was looking at Eastern time.
Yeah, Rocky, I'm back up. That Clemson team was up 24-7 on SMU. For SMU to come back,
not give up,
I'm like, oh my gosh. Now this, I'm going, okay. Everybody's going, well, see, we told you about SMU. They're that front runner. All of a sudden, they're coming back 17 points. I'm going, wait a second. They're in this thing. So don't discount a team just because they haven't been there for whatever reason. And I was like pleasantly surprised to say, you see, folks, I told you they are worthy of being in a top 12 team.
And then Notre Dame and Indiana, the first round, they're in South Bend, and that's an in-state rivalry matchup. That should be a good game, too. I think Notre Dame clearly should win this game, at least on paper. But then again, this momentum with Indiana, stranger things have happened. Same thing what we're seeing with Arizona State. You got to just take it all out. But you think about, the last time Indiana played somebody in their own state, it was Purdue, and they beat them 66-0.
Sure.
I don't think we're going to see the same thing. But look at Notre Dame to score 49 on the road in their win over USC. It says a lot, too. So I think Notre Dame's the real deal, and they're kind of flying under the radar.
They are.
I agree with that. I think that, to be honest with you, I really think that Indiana, with what you discussed earlier, Rock, how Signetti was the coach of James Madison and brought like 25 of his players with him using the transfer portal, how that has changed Indiana from that aspect on the football field. I think that Notre Dame wins this game, but I think Indiana makes it a lot more difficult than people think.
The game that I think is going to be the best game on the docket is Ohio State, Tennessee. I think they're so closely matched, 8 versus 9. For Ohio State, they lost to Michigan last week. That knocked them out of the Big Ten championship. But this is a big game. Whoever wins this gets a trip to the Rose Bowl to play Oregon. I'm hoping selfishly to see a rematch of Ohio State-Oregon. That was a tremendous game there in Eugene. If we can see that again. Again, we still got to, that's next week. So we still have some time before these games get played, which sucks. You wish it was just right away, right? You wish it was like this weekend. Now we got to wait.
Well, and to the point of that, Rock, as far as guys get healed up, guys have more time to prepare.
Right.
Everybody's assuming that Notre Dame, who will be favored, should just walk all over Indiana. Well, wait a second. They prepared just as well as anybody. If they're healthy and they can come, hit the ground running, there's those opportunities for upsets, I feel, in this next round.
And we need to watch the transfer portal.
Yes.
Because we've seen in the past, we've seen kids that have a big bowl game and they get into the transfer portal before that big game and don't play. There could be some disgruntled star players on some of these teams that want to go play somewhere else because of the money. And if a coach is going to say, hey, I'm going to give you, $500,000 to come to Michigan or wherever, You may leave Ohio State. You may leave Tennessee before this game.
Well,
you could, or a coach,
Yeah.
or an assistant coach, a coordinator that says, all right, I'm going to take that head coaching job at XYZ. I'll stay on. But come on, let's be honest. That that is a coordinator who just got the head coaching job. You're double dipping. You're doing two things at the same time. That's tough.
Yeah,
I can't imagine how hard that would be to try to game plan and take over a new school.
I think it's just interesting how they would be able to do that and just say that the AD go, look, if you're going to move on. We'll work with the task at hand. The thing about the transfer portal is the two thoughts of young men wanting to move on and go start somewhere and play, get paid, or young men going, you know what? I've got some value. I'm going to go into the portal, and I'm going to go get fair market value to go to whoever the highest bidder is. There's that. And then the other side of it is there's that portal, and there's some outstanding players in maybe FCS competition that want to move up to a Arizona State. Not so much it's the money, but they want to get their exposure that they're not getting. Maybe they come out of NAU or Montana or whatever, and they're pretty damn good players. You talk about Idaho State. You're the Cam Scadaboos of the year coming out of Sac State that, you know what, I can go get on the map by going to ASU. I mean, I get paid a lot initially, but all of a sudden, here's this kid that's being at least mentioned as a potential Heisman Trophy candidate. There's so many variables now till these playoffs or until the deadline is in reference to when you can enter the transfer
So
portal.
I just got an email from Mercedes-Benz Stadium and their premium sales executive. So if you're interested in going to the game, a 16-person suite is going to be between $20,000 and $25,000. A 22-person suite, $30,000 to $35,000. Single tickets, inclusive food and drink, and in the club up there, $1,000 per ticket. $1,000 per ticket, it would be worth it.
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know if I can put out $25,000 for a suite.
Well, you're taking us, so
yeah, exactly.
And we're a write-off.
Me too.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys are a write-off. That's for sure.
Just don't write us off too soon, Rock.
We're out here at the Trophy Bar. The Big 12 Championship Trophy is here. So if you want to come on down before they take off, I think they're going to be here for a little while longer. If you can check it out. Again, this is at Queen Creek and Price. The brand new Trophy Bar. It's only been open for a little over a year. It's on the southeast side once you're heading south on Price, and it's on Queen Creek Road. So beautiful place, and we'll be here for the Monday night game as well, Bengals and the Cowboys. But coming up next, we're going to bring back an interview we just had about an hour and a half ago with Charlie Ragle, assistant head coach at Arizona State. He will join us next, and then Frank Sanders. It's Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B from the Trophy Bar on Fox Sports 910.
Ready for Christmas
You're clear.
music? 99.9 KEZ is
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Christmas music is on our sister station, 99.9 KEZ. When you're ready. Sponsored by JW Marriott Desert Ridge Resort and Spa.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
Downtown Phoenix, a collision, eastbound 10 near 16th Street, and that one will slow you back to about 19th Avenue. 51 southbound, a crash at the Indian School Road on-ramp. That's been moved off right. West side crash, northbound loop 101 at the Thomas off-ramp on the right shoulder, and a wreck coming into town, southbound 17 at Coldwater Canyon, sitting in the left lane.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Every business faces challenges, but shipping shouldn't be one of them. Turn shipping to your advantage with USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Looking for the ultimate spot to watch football with fellow Ohioans in Phoenix? It's Upper Crust Pizza and Wine Bar. Enjoy great pizza, cold drinks, and cheer them on all season long at Upper Crust. Located at the 101 and Cave Creek Road.
Join the team at the largest towing company in the state, All City Towing. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service personnel. Enjoy benefits like the state's most advanced towing equipment, set work schedules, a healthy 401k employer match, health benefits, employer-paid life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Ready to take your career to the next level? Visit us at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is on the move.
Craving tacos? Discover the Taco Spot, where mouth-watering, authentic Mexican flavors meet a modern twist. With 12 locations and more on the way, we're the local favorite. Visit tacospotaz.com and follow us on social media. Come experience the tacos to Taco Bout, the Taco Spot.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last 5 years alone. Our phone lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings, the official partner of the NBA.
Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray says his back-to-back interceptions against Seattle were the turning point in Sunday's loss, Arizona's third in a row. Arizona State is awaiting its opponent in the college football playoff after clinching a first-round bye. The Sun Devils will face either Texas or Clemson on New Year's Day. NFL Week 14 ends with the Cowboys looking for a third straight win as they play host to the Bengals. I'm Frank Garrity.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Sun Devil football. Coach Charlie Ragle now on Fox Sports 910 with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, courtesy of the Crest Insurance Group. Combine your home and auto for big savings today. Head to crestins.com.
Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Another touchdown for the Big Bruiser.
Who has the final ball?
Oh, man, it just doesn't get old, does it? Just keep playing these highlights all day, and we'll be doing it all week. Joining us, as promised, on Thursday of last week. Normally joins us at 1:30 on Thursdays. The assistant head coach for Arizona State, Charlie Ragle, joins us now from the Trophy Bar, which, by the way, Charlie, we just got word that the Big 12 championship trophy is en route to be on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. So I know you've already got a picture taken with it, but what's the better side? What side should I get my picture taken with it?
Oh, right down the middle, baby. Afternoon, fellas. How we doing?
Good, man. But 4th and 1 inches, 35-yard line. What are you guys thinking? Come on. I mean, what's that all about, Coach?
That took some big cajones.
I mean, seriously. 4th and 1. What's going on with that, Coach? Wow.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I was looking up, and when we subbed in an extra offensive lineman, and they were pointing him out, and all of a sudden, like, he goes in like a shuffle motion, and so I'm expecting we're gonna run some sort of split zone, and so I'm looking for him to wham somebody, and all of a sudden I see him go across. And I was like, what is he doing? He's screwing this thing up, and the next thing I know is, I see Noquan running down the field wide open, and I'm like, oh, we're throwing this thing. And I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a call. And to me, that kind of changed really the game, kind of just broke it open right there. And I know it's close a little bit longer after that, but that was a heck of a call by Marcus, and obviously led to, big start for us and a big football game for the Devils.
Charlie, I thought that the field goal on the opening drive, I thought that was big too, just to pretty much allow that young man to make the field goal. And it seemed as though your guys' attitude was, look, we have opportunities to score. We're going to get it. That was big as far as a confidence builder, and the team kind of going, oh, we're going to kick a field goal and to make it and then come back that following drive to have the trickeration that was the long game by Stovall.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think obviously, it's well chronicled. We've had our ups and downs in the field goal department this season, and to come out and for Karsten to step up on a big stage like that and knock that thing through was just I think it was a boost to everybody's morale, and he was in the zone, and it really got us going off on the right foot that day, no pun intended, and then obviously followed up by the big play on the 4th and 1. It just man, everything fell our way, and obviously it turned out to be a fantastic day there in Jerry World, and obviously Big 12 champions.
We talked about, I think it was the Cincinnati game. We said that early start, 10 o'clock our time, 11 o'clock Dallas time. You looked at the Cincinnati game. These early morning practices, just really kind of a culmination of the entire year. Your kids came out like, okay, no big deal. You guys were in attack mode, and it looked like Iowa State was the lethargic one. And I don't know what time they practiced, but you guys were on all cylinders from the get-go.
Yeah, you know what? When we got up in the morning, I was a little worried. It was such a weird trip in the sense that, and then we got there, 5 o'clock or so in the afternoon, landed, went to the hotel, and everything was just so bang bang because the start was early, right? So, I'm watching the kids come to pregame meal, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, man, I just don't. Are we going to be awake and ready for this thing? And as we got into the locker room, and I've said this to you guys multiple times, these guys our kids were dialed and ready to play. It's just at some point, I think probably in my mind it's been Oklahoma State, but these guys hit a switch on them, and every single time we've come out to play, these guys have been ready, and they were really locked in and really wanted to show the world what they were about on Saturday morning, and they did just that.
Charlie Regal's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. All right, Coach, we love having you on the show. You bring great insight into what is taking place. But I want to ask you now, as a assistant coach, how has Hines Ward, the wide receiver coach, with his NFL background, impacted this team? And how much has carried over into this team, especially with the wide receivers?
Yeah, I think you, after being around Hines for, X amount of months that I have been now, you understand why he was a very successful NFL player and played for as long as he did. Very humble, he's just a worker. And you wouldn't know that he's Hines Ward unless, somebody comes up and says, oh, look, it's Hines Ward. He's just a humble, hardworking dude. And I think that anybody that's had that kind of success, when you watch that in this profession, when there's so many guys that promote a fake brand of success, if you will, a guy who's real and has had it and as authentic as him, it's genuine and it rubs off on your stats. But more importantly, that mentality has rubbed off on his players. And I think you see it even more, not just in their development, but I think you see it in how they go block people. All these receivers that end up being great receivers, obviously the first thing they can do is run and catch the football, right? But the mentality to, be a little bit selfless and go block for your teammates, I think has really been his stamp on that room. And it has been good for our whole football team, period.
Yeah, Charlie, I've enjoyed watching the game that Marcus Arroyo has called as your offensive coordinator. It has really evolved. I really feel it. Scattaboo and Levitt and all the above, and Jimmy alludes to your wide receivers. How much of a difference, from last year to this year when you look at what he's done with his team, and why would it be so expansive in reference to this year versus last year?
Well, I think it starts with the first thing, and I think you know what it is. It's the quarterback. I mean, I think the growth and development that we've seen Sam, play with over this season from where he started to where he's at, today is night and day in itself. So I think, obviously that growth and development, as I just mentioned, his ability to, win plays with his feet. I think that entire combination, and then what Marcus has done to help grow him, from a mental side. I think that has really allowed us to play at a high level. Furthermore, obviously when you have a running back, as we all know in Cam, and what he has done and capable of, that's a pretty lethal combination. And it's really made for an exciting and productive offense this season.
Charlie Regal, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. I'm curious, when you come down to this big layoff before the Peach Bowl, and you have two teams you got to self-scout for, how does the process work from here, and how much practice are you going to be able to get in? And along with that, transfer portal's open now. How do you police that?
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
Charlie.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that literally is what I've been doing all day, is just on the phone trying to lock up a couple of positions here and there. And so recruit right now. Obviously, we've got some downtime, as you mentioned. So our players are going to have some days off here over the next week and let them, see their families, get their legs back underneath them. So they'll be doing that. And then in the meantime, we'll start, cruising both of those ball clubs that we could potentially play in Clemson and Texas, and start to dig in on each of them a little bit, and have enough in the arsenal that when we start practicing next week, we can delve into it a little bit and give our guys a little taste. And as the week continues next week and as we move forward, that will grow. And then obviously next Friday, I believe it is, they play Friday or Saturday. And then obviously we'll hone in on the winner and go ahead and go all out on a full game plan there. But, it's a process. Right now it's really focused on the portal. With just like I said, just starting to look at that, both opponents and a little by little and, day by day. And as the course of the next week goes on, we'll start to lock in a little bit more from a football standpoint.
Charlie, let me follow up on Roc's question about the portal. And when it began, everybody said, oh, no, this is terrible. But ASU went from worst to first by utilizing the portal. What makes your coaching staff so good at utilizing that transfer portal?
Well, I think it's a philosophical approach that at the end of the day, there's two things that you have to be, I think. And I think Kenny would tell you this, flat out. Obviously, you have to be a good player because we need good players to win. But I think it also, we hit on good people. And that's what we really look for, guys that can help us win from an athletic standpoint. But then at the same time, we're good people that wanted to be here in Tempe. And I think that's what we have. We have a group of young men that, weren't highly sought after. Some of them were, but not all of them. But we had to have a group that is hardworking, selfless, wants to be here in Tempe and plays for one another. And I think, we found that combination. A little bit of luck is certainly sprinkled into that, no matter what anyone tells you. And then, the ability to get down beyond the surface and find out, who people really are. I think that's probably what separates our staff. And I think when you come in and you're in our building, you feel it, that not only are we looking for that, we are that ourselves, because this is where we truly want to be.
Coach, thanks for jumping on with us on a Monday after a big win, and we will talk to you again on Thursday as we get closer to the Peach Bowl. But congrats to you and your staff and all the players and everybody that makes it happen, and we appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for the time today.
Oh, my pleasure. How great is it to say, Big 12 champs, boys. I'll talk to you on Thursday. Go Devils.
You got it. That's Charlie Regal, assistant head coach of the Sun Devils. He's brought to you by Crest Insurance Group. They've been sponsoring Charlie Regal for the last couple of years here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. They offer personal, business, specialty insurance solutions for clients across all markets. Check them out for yourself. CrestINS.com. That's CrestINS.com. Coming up next, Frank Sanders will join us. We'll get his take on this Cardinal team that now lost 3 straight. That's coming up as we continue from the Trophy Bar. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
The Cardinals now find themselves 2 games in back of the Seahawks in the NFC West after losing at home to Seattle yesterday. Head coach Jonathan Gannon trying to figure things out.
Disappointing loss, didn't play our best ball.
I'm so jealous that I'm here at the iHeart Studios, Jackson. You have no idea.
Played great here the last couple weeks. So that falls on me.
I was going to just text you to just send me a photo of the trophy, and then I'll do like a cutout photo of me and some ASU stuff.
Belichick is reportedly still in conversations with North Carolina about their head coaching opening. 3 losses.
My co-host for the ASU show just came in because we're taping tonight. So
Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere.
He's a bigger dude, maroon polo, funny guy.
Suns Weather Center for all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs.
He just sent me a photo. Yeah.
Tonight, our forecast low. You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Sarah Spain for iHeart Women's Sports, presented by Elf Beauty. On Sunday in the semifinals of the NCAA soccer tourney, aka the College Cup, North Carolina defeated Duke 3-0 and Wake Forest bested Stanford 1-0, setting up a Tar Heels versus Demon Deacons final today.
We got Frank on hold.
First ever national title match in Wake Forest history, while North Carolina will make its 28th appearance. Watch on ESPNU at 7 p.m. Eastern. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate with Holy Hydration Face Cream Fragrance Free from Elf Skin. The non-greasy formula replenishes lost hydration that your skin needs during and after hard workouts. Shop elfskin.com for a firmed-up bouncy complexion and clean, smooth skin all day long.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is caught. Touchdown Auburn. Sanders caught it. Touchdown Auburn. Touchdown Auburn.
Frank Sanders joins Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch, now on Fox Sports 910.
Thought we spotted them a lot of points there.
Mics are hot. Mics are hot.
Battled back. I appreciate their effort. That was good. We battled back there. Had a couple chances to even cut the lead a little more, but ultimately didn't get it done.
That's the coach, Jonathan Gannon, talking about this game yesterday as the Cardinals fall to the Seahawks, now 6-7, 0-3 since the bye week. Joining us now, as you just heard the big voice guy, Frank Sanders joins us here on the Right to It guest line. Frank, this isn't where we want to be right now, right? I mean, 0-3 since the bye week. What's going to turn it around? A win over New England and then a follow up against Carolina, and then everything will be okay.
Winning in the NFL. Well, let me do this first. Happy Monday to you guys, man. It's always great to be on your show with you guys, man. Unfortunately, we're definitely talking about a loss for the Cardinals, and it would be a better situation if they had just could have pulled it out, Rock, and I'd be happy that I could brag to you about some good stuff. But it's not that, my man. It's a win over the Patriots would definitely will help, but it's there's a lot of games they left on the table, man. They feel like they could have won.
Well, Frank, you've got to win. Basically, you got to win out if you stop and think about it, because you're 3 games back, and you're also out on the tiebreaker to Seattle. So they've got no options but to win out. Can they win 4 games in a row?
That's definitely to be seen. The bye couldn't have come at a worse time. We thought it was coming at a good time when the guys could have got some guys like healthy, which we were doing. We were playing very good football, and we thought we would have carried that over. But I don't know what happened. These guys took a vacation. I don't want them to take again, because this is not looking good, and I'm hoping that these guys can pull it back together and finish strong with 4 football games and 10-7.
So, Frank, talk about that a little bit in reference to the bye week and the continuity that you lose, because they were playing so well, as you mentioned. But what kind of happens from that standpoint of trying to gather that, which they really offensively haven't gathered? I think defensively, aside from yesterday, they've somewhat are on par. But why can they not get that going again on the offensive side, at least in your mind?
You know what? Honestly, that is the question that I'm pretty sure Coach is scratching his head over at night, and Kyler and the guys are, because this is a team that was moving in the right direction. And, I don't think the leadership changed at all, because James Conner is still there. He's still healthy. They got some guys back that we were expecting to come in and make plays. And it just seems like we stayed in the same mode and everyone else turned up a notch. Like the same Seattle team that we faced 2 weeks ago was not the same Seattle team that showed up this week. We had 5 sacks against those guys last time. This time they gave up no sacks. We had 2 turnovers last time, and they ended up winning the turnover battles this time. So it just seems like the last couple of weeks teams have come and played a little bit extra, and they know that the Cardinals are not a team that will quit and play 4 quarters of football. Every game they've played, they've had to win. The opponent had to win in the 3rd and 4th quarter, even though we wasn't playing at our best, and they didn't give up. And I think that's the part where you look at, the beauty of the NFL is that the teams that make the adjustments at the right time, or the teams that get hot at the right times, are the ones that will find themselves in a good position at the end of any football game.
Frank Sanders is our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. So I'll be the bad cop here, Frank. In your estimation, have you seen regression in Kyler Murray or not?
I mean, I would like to think that what I've said, those turnovers do not help. And the timing of the turnovers do not help. The way the turnovers are happening does not help. I mean, it's not like a guy is making an exceptional play on a ball and he's taking it away from one of our receivers. We're watching like little floaters that just seem like dumb plays that are being made, and that looks like a regression of the old Kyler Murray, who would be running or scrambling and just throwing the ball in a position that it's baffling. And I think that doesn't look good. He's definitely expressed himself as saying that, he'll take this. He costs the team to lose. But to answer your question, I would say yes. It doesn't look like a guy that would be, focused and clear-headed for 4 quarters of football with those type of mistakes that he's been making.
And Frank, Rock brought this up at the beginning of the show about his stats and his win-loss record in December and going into January. He's right on par. He's right on schedule. And you would have thought, to your point in mind, that he would have shaken that off to realize, I can't be careless. I've got to shake that. I've got to mature. But you know what, Frank? You look at it, there's the dip, there's the peaks and the valley, and he is right on schedule.
We're going to have to do the Jameson Winston prayer and ask God to help him, because we all need to come in an agreement that needs to stop at this time.
Yes.
What do you think about his mannerisms, too, on top of that? I mean, you just watch him. Of course, you throw 2 picks within 45, 46 seconds. But, the camera's on him all the time. And I thought he kind of got over that. And now it's back to where it was, some parts of last year and in years before.
As I said, Frank, right on schedule.
Yeah, he's never looked good at a bad moment when mistakes were never good. Kyler's one of those guys, man, that if we look at him in his history as a football player or an athlete, it's always been on his shoulders to go out and make plays. This is a moment right now in life where it's not just easy for him, and he's not just the best athlete on the field. And so it doesn't look good. I'm not going to take anything away that I think his competitiveness, his desire and drive to win is there. But it doesn't look good when the camera's on him and it's not going well. I would think that his expectation level would be that he'd be in a better place. He would be having his team and the work that they put in, record would be much better. And no one cares, man, how you lose. But if you're the one that's causing your team to lose, that sits in you a lot. That hurts a lot deeper. And it looks like it hurts him, man. And I agree with you, Rock. It doesn't look good on TV, unfortunately, man. And I'm hoping that he himself personally, mentally and emotionally, man, can rebound from that. And then, again, it's next week. You got 4 more weeks to be happy if he goes out and plays good and plays great and get this team over the hump from these losing seasons that they've had the last couple of years.
Frank, the teams right now in the division seem to me like they have righted the ship with the exception of the Cardinals. Seattle playing their best football. The 49ers rebounded yesterday with a solid win over a pitiful Chicago Bears team. But the team that was really impressive, you know where I'm going, the Los Angeles Rams. They're finally getting healthy. How do you see this division playing out down the stretch?
You know, it's going to be tough for the Cardinals, and I'll say this just mentally and emotionally. I think that's great in regards that they don't play any. The next couple of weeks, they got teams that's potentially that we think they can go out and win if they just play good football. That's versus the Patriots and the Panthers. The Rams, the 49ers, and we're learning that the Seahawks got great coaches. These guys coach 4 quarters of football. They got good leadership in their locker room, and these guys are all starting to buy and believe in what they're doing. The Cardinals, I believe, I like Coach Gannon. I think he's a great coach. I think that Mike has done a wonderful job of making the changes and giving us a new coaching staff, and bringing in some new players, and Monty's done a wonderful job in that. Here's my answer. The division is tough. We always thought it was, but to watch how good they're becoming right now in this last half of the season, it is scary. It is very, very scary. But I don't think it's not impossible for the Cardinals to walk away with beating these two teams in the back end if they just play good football like they know they can.
Frank, thank you as always. How's that golf game, by the way? Just curious. I may need somebody, a ringer, and but I need to know where you're at right now. Give me your handicap right now.
My handicap is 3 shots of tequila, and then we'll follow up that with 1 more shot of tequila, and then we'll probably be somewhere between a 4 and a 5 handicap.
Okay, you're not going to back it with pineapple juice?
Sure. I mean then we're drinking. That was just the drink. We're talking about the shot.
All right. It's been noted, and it's on tape. Good stuff. Thank you, buddy, as always. Love you.
All right, brothers. Y'all have a good one, man. Love you guys, man.
Frank Sanders joining us here, talking about this Cardinals team and what the narrative could be this offseason if this team continues to lose. Yep. And we'll be part of that, and everybody will. I mean, Kyler Murray, is he the franchise guy after 6 years?
It's a big question, Rock. After 6 years, you should be dialed in. You shouldn't have the issues he has and has had. The other thing I thought Charles Davis last night on the broadcast, the color analyst, he said, look, you see Seattle's adjusted to the adjustments from 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes.
He said the Cardinals look the same.
Yep.
That's where they're getting run on. I mean, he went on and on and on. That's what we've been talking about. After the break, they haven't been adjusting the adjustments. So you wonder how thorough they was in self-scouting themselves. And when you have teams that are pretty much manhandling you and not allowing you to score in the red zone or put points on the board, you're down 24-10 against Seattle at halftime. Good luck trying to come back with the way you played in the first half.
By the way, the word did get out that the Big 12 championship trophy is here at the Trophy Bar in Chandler at Downtown Ocotillo. It's still here. A lot of people here. Standing room only just to get in for those that want to come in and get their picture taken with the Big 12 trophy. So he's still here. If you're in the area, come on by. here at the Trophy Bar as we're here for the Monday night game between the Bengals and the Cowboys. Our Learner and Row one call is next. You'll hear Cam Scatterbo as he talks about this team and the turnaround from the post-game interview. So we'll have that next as we finish up here at the Trophy Bar. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
You're clear.
From the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
There is a closure due to an accident Hunt Highway between Attaway Road and Arizona Farms Road. You want to be using Felix Road as your best alternate. State Route 51 southbound on-ramp from Indian School Road. That on-ramp has the right lane blocked. 17 southbound at Coldwater Canyon Road. Have an accident that has the left lane blocked. That's a look at Phoenix traffic.
This report is sponsored by New Vision Auto Glass.
Hey, it's Ned with New Vision Auto Glass. Do you have a cracked windshield? Flying rocks on Phoenix roads can do that. So here's my Ned tip. Call or visit newvisionautoglass.com and qualify for up to $375 cash back and a free dinner at Rodizio Grill.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, #SexyRoofStatus. All of our work using state-of-the-art materials and 5-star workmanship. Our inspections are free. You heard me, free. Go to state48roofing.com to schedule your free appointment today.
Craving tacos? There's one spot in town that everyone can't stop talking about. The Taco Spot. With mouth-watering authentic Mexican flavors and a modern twist, it's no wonder we're the local favorite.
The Taco Spot has the best tacos I've ever had.
With 12 locations and more on the way, satisfying your cravings has never been easier. Come and experience the tacos to talk about. Enjoy handmade tortillas and fresh made-to-order meals that will leave your taste buds dancing. The Taco Spot, where every bite is a fiesta.
Tune in Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. for the Crest Insurance Group's Sun Devil Report with Coach Charlie Rago. Crest Insurance. Coverage you can trust, service you can count on. Every Thursday on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Head coach Bobby Hurley and Sun Devil men's basketball are ready to join the Big 12 Conference. This season, the Sun Devils host conference foes Baylor, Iowa State, Arizona, TCU, and Houston, all at Desert Financial Arena.
And another steal ahead to Miller, and Miller reverses it up and in, and he's fouled! Holy moly!
Join the action and get your Sun Devil men's basketball tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
Hey, iHeartRadio, Keegan-Michael Key here. There are lots of hotels to choose from out there, but ChoiceHotels.com has a hotel for any traveler you want to be, like a Radisson Hotel with flexible workspaces for refined business person you, a Comfort Hotel with a pool for out-of-office you. Nope, out of office. Or a Cambria Hotel with a stylish bar for margarita on the rocks you. With 22 brands, you can be confident that Choice Hotels is a stay for any you. Book direct at choicehotels.com, where travels come true.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Let's face it, winter can be a hard season. It's cold pretty much all the time. Blizzard. You have to shovel. Another blizzard. You slip on ice. But you know what makes winter suck a little less? Getting a free phone. Join Cricket Nation and get a free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. Ooh, ouch. Welcome to enjoying more. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. Must open a new line on the $60 unlimited plan. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Fees, terms, and other restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
It's the Learner and Row. One call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Learner and Row, voted Arizona's best law firm.
There was a time where it was very negative from last year to this year. And for some reason, there was a switch that flickered. And we hit that switch, and it's been different ever since. I couldn't tell you the exact date, but there was a time where it wasn't going to go like this, and then a day later it was. And ever since
clip ends 30 seconds.
This team's been nothing but on the forward trajectory, and I respect that because everybody's pushing each other, and there's no negativity in the room, and that's what makes a team. No matter how much money people are making, No matter how much,
Clip ends in 15 seconds. Mics are hot. Mics are hot.
who's getting the ball, everybody on the team's been positive. And that's why I respect Coach Dillingham, because he's bringing guys in that want to play football and that love to play football. Even if they're not in the game, they have a positive attitude towards the guys that are playing.
Cam Scatterbo, of course, who strike the pose during the win over Iowa State, made a statement, and a lot of people feel he belongs on college football's biggest stage in New York for the Heisman Trophy. I think it's pretty clear that he probably will not win, but he will hopefully get invited for the trophy presentation, and he's there.
Yeah.
Gets a nice trip out to New York, which would be awesome. At very least, get maybe third place votes, because I'm sure right now you look at it as
it's Travis Hunter,
and
Jetney.
And then I don't know, is Gabriel going to be in there as well?
Probably.
Does he go? Does he?
Number one team
I
over there.
think I think he's right behind Gabriel.
I think Travis Hunter would probably, as far as you're hearing all the pundits,
right?
He'll be the
So-
quarterback, receiver. He'll probably be the winner.
I'm really surprised that Jimmy hasn't brought up the Christian McCaffrey, Stanford BS that you always bring up, because he did pass him.
He did
in yards
He did.
and receiving yards from Christian McCaffrey back in 2015. So why aren't you bringing that up?
Very similar looking
East Coast
Christian McCaffrey.
bias.
I'm not doing the East. Are you talking about Scatterbo or
Yeah.
Scatterbo? Okay. The reason,
No, he's talking about Christian McCarthy.
No, I know that. No, the reason
No,
he's
you're right.
comparing him. Yeah. So the reason that I'm not bringing it up is because he is not the number one guy like McCaffrey was, and then Derrick Henry. That's the difference right there.
What the competition was, those two. And then now you got three. And I think it's just interesting how these pundits, they're supposed to know who the top players are. I heard guys yesterday kind of go, oh, wow, I guess this Cam Scatterbo guy's pretty good. You think?
Yeah.
He's been good the entire year, catching the ball, running the ball, yards after contact, the wild scat. I mean, on and on. It's like that game this Saturday's like, oh,
yeah,
I guess he is good. Well, hell yeah, he's good.
That's my point, is that they don't pay any attention. If it's not in the Midwest, like, say, through Kansas City-ish, they don't pay any attention to anything that goes on in the Mountain States or on the West Coast.
And the year that Christian McCaffrey did not win, Derrick Henry did.
Yes, he did.
And, of course, Alabama.
Yes.
He went second. At least McCaffrey got
Yes,
second.
he did.
And then it was Deshaun Watson after that. So I think you can make a case that it could go Hunter. Then maybe Cam could be second. Maybe last 2 weeks of play.
I still don't think enough people in Heisman voting really knew who he was.
And I believe that right there, Rob, because they had enough day games.
Yes, that's correct.
To people to see them.
And
prime time.
Yep.
With prime time.
Yep.
You're going to see Hunter all the time.
And he's spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, no question. All right, let's get into what's on tap. Brought to you by the Roc and Manuch Amber, brewed by Dos Equis. Of course, Dos Equis game day on Saturdays at Phillies. But it's the Bengals and the Cowboys, 6:15 here at the Trophy Bar in downtown Ocotillo by the Big 12 Championship Trophy. Wonder how long it's going to be here. You think I'll stay for the whole Monday night?
I would love it to.
That'd be great if it did.
Love it to.
It's popular.
I think as more and more people show up, that they'll elongate the stay as far as people coming down. This is just so cool. You feel so good for the Sun Devil community,
yes,
and for the fans that they've won a Big 12 championship in their very first year.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's so just incredibly exciting.
All right, let's get the results of today's It's Your Call question, which is brought to you by State 48 Roofing.
You go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter to continue to vote. Who or what will be the main story in 10 years when you talk about this ASU football team? Will it be Cam Scatterbo? Will it be Kenny Dillingham? Will it be Sam Levitt? Or ASU picked 16th in the preseason? Again, just go to @Roc and Manuch. Currently, Cam Scatterbo at 50%, and ASU picked 16th in the preseason at 50%. Again, just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter.
Yeah, I think, I think it's more the fourth, because they've been such a dark horse all year. And for them to win the way that they're winning, I mean, to blow out Iowa State in the Big 12 championship, I mean, that's a lot of merit. And if they could get by the next round,
Oh my gosh.
I can't imagine. I mean, then it's hard not to root for them to win it all.
Yeah.
But Clemson and Texas,
Absolutely. And I voted that too. ASU picked 16th in the preseason. That's what I voted.
I think you have to. I mean,
I
but then
voted-
again, I think we're going to start looking at rankings and polls a lot differently moving forward. They do need to figure this out with this playoff.
But it's the first year. You know that. So you're going to have bumps in the road.
Yeah.
And you're still going to have teams like Alabama and Don't you find it interesting? It's the SEC teams that are complaining the most.
Guys, I think they got it right.
That's it.
I
think
think they got it
Oh,
right.
I think they got it right
Yeah,
too.
I do. I think after
I
it's all
like the
said
fact
and done,
that Alabama is crying, and I don't like the fact that Greg Byrne, who I have a lot of respect for, had to go on Twitter and post the fact that he's going to look at the non-conference schedule moving forward and maybe change some games, cancel some games.
That's sour grapes right there,
He played
Rock.
Western Kentucky, Mercer. He played Wisconsin, who was 5-7. They had a horrible non-conference schedule.
They lost to Oklahoma by 21.
Yes.
That's all you have to say.
That's what it was.
And
it
to
was that
Vandy.
game, 24-3. You get blown out by Oklahoma. It was a bad team. This year. Vandy was better than I think
they
we
were.
expected.
But Alabama
30.
was a 23-point favorite against Vandy, and they lost.
Hey, we'll do it again tomorrow, beginning at 1 o'clock. I want to thank everybody here at the Trophy Bar. We'll be here for tonight's Bengals-Cowboys game. You have a chance to win $9,100. Last week, we gave away a big screen TV just for rolling the dice. So come on out and join us. Queen Creek in Price. It's the Trophy Bar, and it's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Good night, folks.